All right. Hope everyone's having an absolutely fantastic day. Tweet is out. Let me check my camera real quick. Whoa! And it's not correct at all. Hold up. Hold up. This is what happens when everybody feels like they could just come into my room whenever they please. There we go. That's a little bit better. Whoops. What's the. Oh, man. I read. Yeah, let's see. And a little bit over here, too. There we go. That looks more like my angle. Hope all of y'all are doing okay. Apologies for missing yesterday. Had to go to work. It's a little makeup session. Louise, what's going on? Glad you're able to make the stream. Hope you're doing okay. All right. Let's get right into it. I don't even remember where we left off. So I know we were in 20. Oh, we had just gotten to the point where we're supposed to be praying to the gods, right? And they're going to help us to be able to get to Theos. It's Dion. What's going on? Glad you're able to make the stream. How are you? I do not remember at all how this section goes, so please forgive me. This might be a while. Here, we're going to sneak around here first. See how this works. What's over here? Oh, that's right. It's some sort of big puzzle, right? Oh, I'm going to hate that. Gonna hate it. I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna hate it. I'm letting y'all right now. Oh yeah, this is. I remember. I think this puzzle took like forever. I'm letting y'all know right now. I'm looking it up. Shattered and charred stone blocks the passage into sun and shadow. Yeah, I'm letting y'all know right now. I am not going through all that. I've done this puzzle once before, and once was all I needed. Did not need anything else. Okay. Move this stuff back. Here we go. Press this. Mm-hmm. Whoa, 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 whoa.
This place is one where a spirit may dwell.
Okay. Right. So I think you have to press the pedestals in the right order. A piercing ring fills your ears as you near Whale Shrine. There is no other response. So Whale is unavailable. Nothing happens when you approach Wotica Shrine. All right. Before this shrine sits the constellation of a snarling hound, fangs bared. Pray to Galawain. You kneel before the shrine and prepare to recite the ritual words. Leave. I don't know what the ritual words are. This shrine sits before a bright constellation, its stars forming the oval shape of an egg. A pair of wings sprout from the egg, stretching out to either side. In the glittering stars of the nearby constellation, you see the grim shape of a skull. Its jaws are open wide, as if frozen in a silent scream. Leave. In the nearby constellation, you can make out the shape of a strange horned beast. From time to time, you think you sense a faint chill emanating from the shrine itself. Fascinating. Okay. All right, we're going to give it a whirl. We're going to try one time real quick to see. You can't even organize this by when you got them. Now I think about it, which means the books all just they just threw all the books into my freaking list, all in random places. That's not good. Duncan, what's going on? How are you? I always love these quests. I love when you've actually unlocked them, but I'm not a fan of the puzzle you have to get through in order to get to them. So yeah, it's the book somewhere in here. Damn, I should have read them while they were in the inventory, because now it's mixed all in and I don't know what book I'm supposed to be reading. And song to Wodoka. But Wodoka is not one of the people that who has a shrine we can we can use. So that's not useful to me. Ba 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 ba. Day God, what's going on? Yeah, this inventory system is it's not all that great. It's not all that great. Love the game, but this could be better. This part could be better. I wonder if the puzzle tells you when you get part of it wrong. All right, let's see. Boss Page, what's going on, man? I'm doing all right. How are you? All right. Pray to Galawain. You kneel before the shrine and prepare to recite the ritual words. I haven't seen any of these words. Survival begins with strength from within. Sounds right. The air around you stirs, and a gust of warm wind blows across the back of your neck. You catch the faintest smell of wet earth. As you kneel in front of the shrine, you feel yourself push forward. You catch yourself on your hands and knees, feeling warm, damp ground beneath them. Looking around, you find yourself crouched in a clearing in the middle of the woods. The smell of dirt hangs heavy in the air. Behind you is a darkened room filled with candlelit shrines. Ahead, you hear the howl of some kind of hound. You feel certain this is a vision, but the hairs on the nape of your neck still rise. If it helps, I'm sure you need the book made of paper. Interesting. Okay. All right. I'll keep that in mind if I have trouble with the other ones. Oh, thanks, Boss Page. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I think it's going to be a nice holdover. You know, it's still not, I'm still haven't gotten to like that perfect version. I know from an animation and like a logo standpoint what I really want, but it's going to cost money for me to get there. So for now, this will hold me over nicely. Howl back. The beast bays in response, his voice high and clear. The thick undergrowth shivers with movement, and heavy paws pound the wet grass. You're not certain if the creature is hunting or leading you, but you instinctively give chase. As you tumble through dew-speckled bushes and clawing brambles, each stride feels longer than the last. You draw lungfuls of crisp, clear air and feel your energy renewed. The rhythm of your stride and the thumping of the beast's paws drive the blood thrumming into your ears. You speed ahead, following the hound's cries when a split-finger pine crashes to the ground in front of you. A massive bear lunges into the gap and roars. It catches sight of you. You turn and race in the opposite direction, leaping over the fallen tree trunk. Pine comes crunch underfoot. The bear lumbers after you. Its hot breath washes over the back of your neck, filling your nose with the rank odor of slaughter. You see a clearing just past the thicket of broad leaves and sprint towards it. As you break through the foliage, you see a massive lioness curled up in the clearing in front of you. With a last burst of energy, you divert your momentum and hurl yourself into the bushes. Any second now, you expect to feel the bear fall upon you, but a furious roar on the other side of the clearing draws your attention. The bear stopped at the tree line. It swipes the empty air with claws longer enough to rend armor, but it does not advance. The lioness, for her part, twists her body into a tight coil. She growls, her ears pressed against her head, but she makes no move to attack the intruder. Whose idea was it to stand here? You back deeper into the foliage, keeping your eyes on the two mighty predators. As you crawl backwards, the heel of your hand brushes something furred. A warm sigh grazes your cheek. You freeze in place, slowly turning your head to see what waits behind you. Two amber eyes shine in the darkness. If I'm dying here, at least it was with my friends. And Durance. The eyes meet your gaze, briefly, then turn to the standoff in the clearing. The hound behind you yawns, fangs flashing. When you turn back, the lion and the bear have disappeared. In their place is a stone wolf's maw, gaping wide enough to swallow you whole. Beyond it is the outline of a temple, towering but indistinct. Blood must feed the maw, Watcher. See that a true champion reigns. Turn back to Tir Evron. Travel to the Stone Maw and Gallowayne's vision. Interesting. Okay. All right. So I have Gallowayne's quest. Oh, okay. So this wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be. Um, Video James, what's going on? Hey, glad you're able to make the stream. Thanks. Yeah, I had to upgrade things a little bit. Isn't the isn't this the God you choose to help? If I remember correctly, you could do quests for all of them. And then after you do quests for them, you decide which God you want to actually have help you get to the next area. Toxic, what's going on? I'm doing all right. How are you? Yeah, Durez. Oh, yeah, this is all the God quests. Yep, exactly. All right. Pray to Hylia. You step before the shrine and prepare to recite the ritual words. All things will be reforged. There's life and death and life. Survival begins with strength from within. Lift, live every note of life's song. Strong icing the oceans. All life ends in stillness. Tomorrow my master chokes on his own wit. Was an answer without a question. One that takes back her throne. All wrong should be righted. Let's go with live every note of life's song. Your words seem to ring in the air. Your voice rendered melodic and lifting, I assume, by some unseen art. You shut your eyes to pray. As you wait in darkness, the world around you changes. You feel sunlight, bright and warm, on your face. A light breeze carries music to your ears. As vivid as these sensations feel, you somehow know they are not real. You look around and find yourself standing in an open-air temple built on a mountain summit. It's filled with elves, orlins, and assorted other kith. Ringing the entire scene is a fringe of trees, their verdant branches filled with birds of all different colors, shapes, and sizes. Durant spits. A paradise for those who would waste their lives exploring the meaningless while corrupting the meaning of the real world. Oh, to set those trees ablaze, Watcher. Everyone is singularly absorbed in a particular pursuit. An Orland sits with a canvas, a paintbrush in his hand, and jars of green, blue, and yellow pigments at his feet. An elf and an Amua standing to the side are locked in conversation, their expressions dancing with delight. Still others scribble stanzas of poetry or crude sketches of chiefs on paper, losing themselves in the delicate minutiae of lines and syllables. You feel the breeze again, and two elves basking in the sunlight shiver. The largest group gathers in the middle of the temple. They sing a lush, chaotic harmony composed of several complementary melodies. Others drift towards the singers in ones and twos, as if buffeted by a gust of wind or a phrase of the song. A ripple passes through the trees. You think it's the wind, but the chirping changes to screeching. Hundreds of birds take to the skies, all headed in one direction, away. The devotees glance at the trees, just barely distracted from their activities, but the wind picks up, scattering their pages of poetry and art and ripping the songs from their lips. They look skyward, and you follow their gaze. A dark shape blots out the sun. You can't tell what it is, but as it unfolds and expands, it seems to fill the sky. The wind roars over the summit. Seldom a good sign. Before you can flee, a shadow falls over the temple. It begins as a stain in the corner and spreads, blotting out the flagstones. It reaches the nearest kith, a black-furred Olin. The darkness swallows her, leaving only a puff of smoke in her place. The two elves that you saw earlier, a man and a woman, flee. You get a brief image of them huddled in the shadow of a mountain. They seem to see you, too, and they reach out, calling silently after you. The others, however, seem frozen. As the shadow advances, they likely vanish one by one. The driving gale shatters their ashes and the charred remains of their creations. The grieving mother holds her head. Songs of joy turn to screams of agony. What purpose, what lesson could possibly lie behind such destruction? You look up again at the source of the shadow, but the eclipsed sun forms a binding corona around the thing. You can't make out any details. You can, however, feel heat. Restore my temple. You look down and find yourself standing next to Hylia's shrine in Tir Avrin. Your pulse still races and your skin is damp with sweat from your strange encounter. All right, so that was one. That's two, three, and four. Okay, cool. And I'm pretty sure that's what I did because actually, awesome. Adam, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Glad you're able to make the stream. I love your videos. Keep it up. Thank you. Glad you've been enjoying the content so far. I appreciate it, man. You know, this is the character in 40K called Lucas the Trickster, who can't help but be a prick all the time. The rest feels like an angry version of him. That's definitely a good description of him. Pray to Barath. I'm gonna go with he's the cycle guy, right? So there's life and death and life. There's a rippling shift in the air around you, as if some unfelt wind has changed, bringing unexpected warmth. You feel the peculiar weight of an unseen presence and of eyes upon you. You kneel and pray to Barath. Even while your eyes are closed, you see a road that seems to stretch on forever. The stars wheel overhead in a clockwork rotation of constellations, disappearing over the horizon to your left, only to rise on your right. You try to make out the details on either side of the road, but your eyes can't seem to focus. One moment you think you see a meadow blanketed with mist, and another sheer canyon walls. Just for an instant, you even see waves lapping at the edges of the road. Were you to step into the shifting landscape, you feel certain you would only end up back on the road. You know this is a vision, but the packed dirt feels firm beneath your feet and the night air cool on your face. You are walking. Your feet seem to carry you forward of their own accord. Something looms ahead of you. As you get closer, you see two stone figures that look strangely familiar. Bimunen I Aku and Akuin Binwa, two of the oldest representations of Barath. You remember the door to Cleoban Ralag and the two figures carved into the mountain next to it. One looks vaguely male and the other vaguely female. Only a thin layer of flesh covers their skeletal bodies, which twist to face the doorway between them. The doorway, however, is not what you saw in the ruins. It's a skull, gaping and jawless, and as you look on, its open mouth seems to grow. The arms of the two stone sculptures are swept toward the mouth, inviting you in. Enter the skull's mouth. The road continues through the mall to another shifting landscape surrounded by stars. As you pass through it, you see an identical doorway in the distance. A dwarven man stands near it, unmoving. You turn and look behind you, only to see the skull gate just past facing you. An elven woman waits in the road. Like the dwarf, it stands still. Approach the elven woman. You start toward her. There's something unnatural about the way she stands. She's too still. When you get closer, you see that her legs taper into a slender trunk, and in place of her feet are gnarled, twisting roots. She lifts her face to an invisible sun. Her long, golden hair is the color of autumn leaves, and as you look more closely, you realize that her head is actually covered with tendrils and vines, sprouting brilliant yellow leaves. Each glimmers with the essence of an entire soul. She gives you a beatific smile. As you look on, the leaves slowly fall from her head and settle at her roots. They melt into the path beneath her, and almost immediately, new leaves sprout in the place of the old. She reaches toward you, still smiling as roots spring from her fingertips. Her outstretched arms bar the path. Come, graft your soul to the golden grove. Take her hand. Her roots twine around your fingers, and as they do, they grow rigid and cold. Her outstretched arm petrifies, and as rough stone bark overtakes her flesh, she can only look on in horror. You break away from her brittle grasp. Her feet are rooted in place, but she twists and writhes as if trying to flee her own dying limb. The petrification reaches her shoulder and spreads down her body, freezing it in a painful arc. It creeps up her neck as she throws her face skyward like a drowning swimmer. The grayness covers her face, freezing her gasp in stone. Now that she is still and lifeless, you can continue past her. Only the golden leaves on her head remain untouched, and as you watch, they fall one by one to the path below. They shrivel as the shimmering essence fades from them. You lift your gaze and see the dwarven man standing further down the road. Approach the dwarven man. You continue down the road toward him. He looks up as you approach, but you can't tell if he's looking at you or through you. His face is smooth but flaccid, as if the flesh is detached from the muscles underneath. As you look on, his face begins to change. Wrinkles crack at the corners of his eyes. His mouth sinks, carving deep lines from his nose to the corners of his lips. His jowls sag, and the loose flesh hangs like dough. He raises his cupped hands. They're covered in blood. He lifts them to his face and smears himself from his newly creased forehead to the wattles of his neck. As he massages the dark, sticky fluid onto his skin, the fresh wrinkles disappear. The hanging folds recede, and his flesh tightens as if re-adhering to his skull. He lifts his head, and this time, you know he's looking at you. His renewed face looks like a mask, artificially smooth and still. Behind it, his black eyes are two hungry pits, yawning like the empty mouths of skulls. Come, make your sacrifice to the ethnic null. His body blocks the path. He extends a bloody hand toward you. Take his hand. You grab his hand, but his skin gives too easily under your grip. As you try to pull away, you hear a noise like dried canvas tearing. His skin splits, following a long seam that begins at his arm and stretches the length of his body. Blood gushes forward in such quantities that you can't imagine there was ever anything else in him. Sure enough, as the dwarf empties of blood, he collapses like a desiccated husk. The blood in the path gleams with 1,000 souls worth of essence. The essence evaporates, trailing shining filaments into the night sky. Only now that he is dead can you continue onward. The blood pours around your feet, and a voice echoes along the road, barely more than a whisper on the breeze. Return them to the wheel. You look up and see the skull gate ahead of you. The candles of Ter Evron wink through the open mouth. Yeah, I really do enjoy these quests, and definitely the setup for them. I think it really helps to establish how epic the deities are in this game. Dagon, isn't that literally every well? Eldar do it because they think they are the best ever. Lucas does it because he honestly can't help himself. Also starting to feel bad for me, Magnus. This whole scene makes me want to make a fantasy star map. I agree, James. I agree. Woo! And here's my favorite, although I don't think he has a voice in this game, but this deity's voice is my favorite out of all of them. It is always entertaining to talk with him. The constellation of the beast of winter. This time, the cold emanating from the shrine is unmistakable. A thin frost has formed upon the edges of the stone. Pray to Remagond. He's supposed to be the ending of all things, right? So I think I'm going to go with all life ends in stillness. You feel a sudden gust of cold air, as if the shrine were bursting into wintry life. The frigid wind cuts through you like a sharpened blade, and darkness encroaches upon the edges of your sight. You kneel and close your eyes. As you pray, the blackness fades to white, and a howling wind fills your ears. The vision that slowly resolves itself is of a broad, frozen plain. You see a procession of elves in the distance, periodically fading into and emerging from the whiteness. They trudge over snowbanks, their heads down against the driving winds. As they trek past you, one man bundled in furs turns his head. You headed for Noon Frost, and the Frost Hoon breached too? Before you can answer, his lumbered ahead. You follow the caravan, and in a couple of minutes, you come to a wall of ice. It disappears into the pale emptiness overhead and stretches as far as you can see in either direction. The elves stop in front of a mirror smooth section that's framed like a temple door. It seems somehow thinner than the rest of the wall. You can't see what's on the other side, but a debilitating cold emanates from within. The elves pull pickaxes and shovels from their seal skin packs and begin hacking at the smooth ice, their implements flying through the air in swift, shining arcs. Though they throw their bodies into their labor, not one of them so much as scratches the polished ice. Yet with each blow, something bellows in the distance. Eder calls out to the elves, "Hey, you might want to hold off on that." But that howling wind seems to swallow up his voice. Palagina's head whips around to see where the bellowing is coming from. "Forget about the elves. We need to be ready to move." She turns again to face you, flexing her hands in the cold air. Or fight. The elves hack away, seemingly oblivious to the furious lowing and to the tremors under your feet. The snow has risen to your knees. Your legs feel frozen in the drifts. Try to get the elves' attention. You grab the nearest elf by her shoulder, shaking her and yelling over the howling winds. You point in the direction of the booming noise, but she only scowls. "Leave us, traveler. We've got to get through. We can't stay on this side any longer." "Listen, you're angering something very big. You better stop." The elf strains to listen. As she rests her pick on the mounting snow, some of her fellows pause in their labors. A man with a withered, frostbitten finger turns. He raises his maimed hand, and the others stop as well. They stand motionless for several seconds before you realize they've frozen entirely. You touch the elf nearest to you, and he crumbles into a mound of snow. A final gale blows past, scattering the remains of the elves in a chaotic flurry. You notice a single spiderweb crack in the smooth barrier. It's the only thing that mars the perfect surface of the ice. Whatever's on the other side of the strange doorway, you feel it tugging at you. Only when you look back and see the parallel gashes trailing behind your legs in the snow do you realize how strong its pull is.
My end comes to all things in time. Seal the frost-hewn breach, and instruct the pilgrims in the patience of Remergond.
Oh, but he doesn't sound the same. I feel like his voice is different in the sequel. Maybe they didn't use the same voice actor. Plug the hole with a handful of snow. You fill your hand with snow and shove it into the crack. It hardens instantly, and a hoary rime grows over the smooth surface of the frozen doorway, fusing it with the rest of the wall. When you take your hand away, a perfect crystal of ice remains in your palm. As you examine the crystal, the vision around you fades, but the unmelting shard of ice remains in your hand. Did you do some of these guide quests already? Nope, I haven't done any other guide quests yet. So that's why I'm just now picking them up. It's different. Okay, cool. I thought so. I thought so. His voice, this guy is okay wherever he is, but the voice that in the sequel, amazing. Amazing. Okay, so we got some work to do.
Did you hear that? About our awakenings being permanent?
Ooh. Olive wants to talk. Did we finish Durant's quest yet? Olive. Awakening talk. Talk. Here we go. Let's talk to Durant's first. Questions for you. Want to know more about you. Tell me about Ashfall. Oh, he doesn't want to talk.
If
Fine.
those Delumgon are right, you and I are stuck with our awakenings. Not quite the news I was hoping for.
I'm concerned about you. How are you taking this?
Oh, the knowledge that a barely civilized bumpkin will share my mind and body for the rest of my life? That's kind of you to ask. I'd always believed that Isilmir was an ailment I could cure myself of one day. But now, to think she'll be around forever.
You've been awakened for decades now. Did you really think anything would change? It's time you dealt with this, Aloth.
I know.
He sighs. And on the bright side, I've got plenty of time to figure out how to deal with her. Like it or not, she's part of you, and she could be a source of strength if you learn to work with her.
It's strange. I've lived with her most of my life, and I've always seen her as an adversary. It should have occurred to me the day she stood up to my father. But there's something about being too close to a situation to see it clearly. It will be a relief to stop fighting her.
Even as he says it, something struggles within him. The muscles in his face twitch and his skin quivers. His eyes roll back in his skull, exposing slivers of white. Sweat beads and glistens on his forehead. After several seconds, he sighs and looks back at you. That wasn't as difficult as I expected. I think, deep down, I had always hoped to find a solution elsewhere. When I was a child, I always thought my mother would come home with a mysterious cure, or that my father, without knowing it, could somehow send her away just as he called her forth. I can't pretend that I didn't spend years of my arcane training hoping that one of my instructors would have the answer somewhere in his grimoire. When I joined the Leaden Key, I hoped and believed that, with enough loyal service, I'd gain the ear of someone in the organization who could help me. Even when I met you and realized your unique talents, I hoped that you might be able to reach into my soul the way I've seen you do with so many others. I've been looking for someone else to solve my problem, and now I realize that I've got to face it on my own. You haven't been on your own. I got you through Brackenbury, remember?
I remember well. You've been a capable leader for this expedition and an invaluable mentor to me. I won't forget what I've learned from you. That reminds me of something else the Delamgon said. About the gods not being real.
He says it quietly, as if afraid someone might overhear him. They did tell us to pray to the gods, so that can't be entirely true.
Yes, I suppose so. Still, I can't help but worry at the state we'd be in if that were somehow true. If there were no power guiding us in this life and shepherding us to the next.
Let's just hope that's not the case.
Truer words were never said.
While we're stopped, let's discuss something else. So, you've made your peace with Isilmir. What's that like? Relaxing. More so than I expected, as contentious as she is. I imagined that letting her in would merely unleash the torrent, but now that I'm not fighting her, it seems she isn't fighting me. He sighs. And you were right. I found much to learn from her. Olive looks at you with quiet attentiveness. How may I be of service? That's all. All right. And I think that means we're done with his quest, right? Trials of Durance is still around. True to form. Oh, that's right. So we got to do the party member quest for the extra party members we have now. Trick Samak into drinking the poison. Oh, right. Okay, cool. Stone Maw. I've been tasked with facing this threat. That's the dragon, I think. I don't know where the Stone Maw is, but I assume it's in one of those other areas. In the lives of the two figures from Marat's vision. A dwarven man and an elven woman. Okay. And find Noonfrost in Twin Elms. Okay, fine. All right.
Certainly.
Whoops. Everybody goes. Okay. If I remember correctly, it's this chick over here, right?
Estramore?
I swear it was like somebody over here. Maybe it's her?
Builder's wisdom to you.
Builder's wisdom to you.
Though his eyes are closed and his posture still, the man before you keeps his head aimed at you, as if carefully following your movements. Hail to you. May your time in the Golden Grove be enriching. If you are in need of service to speak with Beleda, I've already talked with him before. I thought when they refer to an elven woman who needs to be taken care of, how do I do this into a white void, a servant of death? The dwarf ethnic, yeah, she mentioned a place called the Golden Grove. The druids of the Golden Grove told me that High Ovet Arona often ventures to Elmshore in search of remedies to prolong her life. I suspect that Arona is the elven woman from the vision. Is she here? No, so she must be in Elmshore. So I have to go there and take care of her. Okay, fine. Now the other guy we have to deal with, I don't want to kill him yet because I'm pretty sure that group is the same group who's supposed to help our druid guy. So I don't want to deal with him just yet. Let's pick up our druid first. So we've got, all right. So we've got, we're at her. We did Hearthstone. We just did Elm's Reach. Burial Isle is where we go to end the game. So it's going to be a while before we go there. Old Song is up here. I think that's where Hylia's, oh no, Temple of Hylia is up here. Okay, so Old Song is something different. So we got to do Old Song, Northwheel, and the Temple of Hylia, and then come back and turn all that stuff in. But before we do that, we got to go back here and get the druid, then and do his quest. I think we just need to talk to him to do his quest. Then go back, drop him off, pick up the arrow chick, because I'm pretty sure somewhere in this area is the guy she's looking for.
Well done. A formidable fortress in the old style. We don't build them like this anymore, you know.
And we'll take you. And we will rest. We'll stick with mechanics, even though it hurts my soul to waste mechanics on that, but Durance needs the help. Kind of what Durance's real name is, I don't think you find out. I agree with Boss Page. I don't think you find out that information, most definitely. I think they leave it up to your own interpretation. Some loose ends annoy me in this game, but that's not one of them. I'm good with that, actually. I think his character is strengthened by how little you really know and understand about him. Do we have to go to Hall of Warriors? Or is it in the caves? Let's see. What's the name of his freaking quest? It's not the Long Hunt. True to form? There we go. He needs someone who knows about the Autumn Stelgar. I guess we might as well try this first. Ian, what's going on? I can't complain, man. How are you doing? Yeah, you never find out, but just wonder. Yeah. I wonder if they ever revealed it in like an AMA or something like that. Or maybe Obsidian doesn't even know themselves. Let's do a quick save there. See if... Okay, so yeah, I guess they have nothing to do with his quest then. Give Samak the poison. Here's the potion you asked for. He looks from the vial in your hands back to you. Something's wrong. His eyes narrow. What are you trying to give me? Intellect. You're being paranoid because you're nervous about the deed. It's natural. He reaches out with a hand gnarled by age and battle. He clutches the vial close to one faded blue eye. To my tribe's foundation. He drains the vial in one long gulp. He swallows, and, after sputtering for several seconds, he glares at you. His breath sounds ragged and wet. You poisoned me. He begins to raise his hand to the warriors in the other room. Poison 19. I didn't. I swear. That was poison. He rushes you with a cry of rage. I don't appreciate that. There's got to be a better way. Let's run that back, shall we? I wonder if it's possible for me to get my perception high enough. Boom, boom, boom. Not autosave, quick save. Durant's the master of talking at length about very, very little. Absolutely, I strongly agree. Right as rain, brother. Thanks for asking. That's awesome to hear. Good to hear, man. But there was a plan to reveal it in 2, but something happened. Yeah, I was actually disappointed he wasn't even in 2, but I think some of the endings have him die, right? So I guess it makes sense he wouldn't be in 2. Perception, 18. Okay, we're right on the brink. So absolutely there's got to be a way. And I'm not even wearing anything that increases my perception. I'm pretty sure I got something. Here we go. Come on now. Let's run this back. Poison, intellect, perception. You drank that way too quickly. I suppose you're right. He takes a couple of slow, deep breaths. And I suppose I should thank you for your service. Safe travels, Esther Moore. Woo, somebody like that. You gain reputation. Is his son over here? Nah.
Hail, Estremor.
Lyris has asked me to kill you. Yeah, nah. I'm not gonna do that. Lyris looks you in the eye and gives you a slow nod. All right. All of the endings he dies in, doesn't he? I thought there was one ending where he lives. So is it just different shades of death? Like I know one, he just throws himself into the fire, right?
Woken up to find your other half used your body during the night.
I don't think I understand you. And I'm not sure I want to.
Well, I've found that if I go to sleep hungry enough, I wake up covered in blood and delightfully full.
All right. So that's done. Excellent. Now let's go into the Blood Sands area. Is that here or across? It's across. His whole personal history involves a Godhammer specifically, and you visit the exact memories of said Godhammer, but he's nowhere to be seen, unless you show him the truth that Mogren wants him dead. Because forbidden knowledge. I did that and he died anyway. Interesting. Hey man, just wanted to say I stumbled on your videos last week and really enjoyed your Wrath of the Righteous guys. Keep up the good work and I look forward to future content. Thanks, Stubbs. Really appreciate it. Glad you're able to make the stream, man, and that you've been enjoying the content so far. I appreciate the support. I think it's hard to save him. Yeah, it dies in different ways except one where he lives. So there is an ending where he lives. But I didn't know how to do it before I started here, so I probably didn't get that ending. It is what it is. To me, it kind of always felt right that he died, especially since you can't get him in 2 anyway. Gross watches your approach without betraying any emotion. Be welcome, Esther Moore. Then suddenly flexes. Esther Moore. What do you want? I'm supposed to... Is he the one I'm supposed to kill? Or no? The sacrifice. There we go. Yeah, no, he's dead as fucking your game. Thanks. Thank you so much. I'm going to have to look that up then. See what I could have done better. I don't know. I like him not being in the next game. I don't think it would add much if he lives. I would need him to be a party member, but I like variety in my party member endings. It would be nice if it was possible to have an ending where I was able to help him find peace, and then to see that peace continue in the second game. Ooh, you return. Here to make a sacrifice or merely to observe? Wait, if I kill him, Who is supposed to tell me about this druid stuff? Where do I go? Farewell. Because I feel like if I tell him that, they all turn against me, if I remember correctly. His better half. Right. True to form. Revealed that he was cast out because they considered shapeshift form Alum Stelgar an abomination. He wants to learn more about it and feels there may be a druid in Twin Elms who would know more. He wants to understand from the druids. We just talk with the druids, right? Now, were there any druids in that first area, though? You know what? No, I want to look this up because I ain't trying to screw this up. If I don't need this guy, I want to go ahead and kill him right now. I don't want to do the back and forth. True to form. What am I missing? What am I forgetting? Go to Elm's Reach and talk with Tamarin in the Golden Grove. He will tell you to read the tablets in Blood Sands. Find the grotto in the wet and speak to blah blah. Okay, I talk with Tamarin. What in the hell? All right, fine. We could deal with this guy now then. Barat believes it's time you paid your dues. Restaurant grunts. Then he can descend from his mighty pantheon and tell me himself. Actually, that's why I'm here. Sheesh. You know what? If I need to read all the tablets anyway, then it makes more sense to wait until we get his stuff. Because I'm going to have to walk all around through here. And I'm going to have to walk all around through here anyway, kicking behind. So we might as well do it then. No need to do it twice. But to be honest, it felt more thematic he lived and got away from Margaret as sort of a mega troll. Or he can live a godless, bitter hobo. So he can't say he caught a break, I guess. Interesting. I wanted to run into him as an embittered priest, just totally full of the vinegar. Sad he wasn't into. Happy ending through death. Got you. Okay, well then, yeah, I'm sticking with the death ending then. I don't need that. I don't need that for Durant's. Plus, I just think it makes more sense that he truly believed in the fire to the very end. Where was this Tamarin chick? Yeah, here we go. This guy. Didn't we already talk to him? Or did we talk to him before we got the druid?
Many blessings, traveler.
We talked to him before we got the... Wait. Oh, we did. We talked to him before we got the druid. All right. And hail to you, Autumn Orlan. He says with a bow to Heravace. Heravace's eye widens in surprise, and his one good ear stands on end. How on Eeyore did you... The man's eyes remain closed, and he says with a smile, tranquility begets a receptive mind. He opens his eyes, revealing brown irises clouded with the beginnings of cataracts. With my eyes open, I see your birth form, but when I look inward, and with this he closes his eyes again, I see the autumn Stelgar. Let Hervaeus talk. I don't know how you can sense it, but you're right about me being the Stelgar. What do you know about the beast? Why was I ostracized just for being able to assume its form? Is there a cure? Taran smiles. His eyes remain closed. I know the beast is often sent by Galawain as a sort of trial. Many on Amon Thoth are tested by the Autumn Stelgar. Those bested and consumed by the beast have their soul torn from their bodies and lost for all time. So, my tribesmen were right? Heravaes looks crestfallen. His posture slumps. His gaze drops to the ground. Are you saying I have such a terrible power? This must be some sort of... If your spirit form were a bee, would you be mystically compelled to make honey? Were it a bird, would you spend all day making nests? Tarwin opens his eyes once more and looks Heravaeus up and down before wincing and shutting his eyes once more. I'm saying this is what the animal your form resembles is known to do. It seems you are eager to leap to your own conclusions. I would not normally advise one to speak with the circle at Blood Sands, but given your circumstances, the ethnic knoll may prove of insightful. The ethnic knoll may prove insightful. I don't think that is supposed to be there. He turns and, with eyes still closed, points to the northwest. Read the stone slabs carved by the druids of the Blood Sands. There are answers to be found, as well as more questions, but you must explore them for yourself. What exactly is written on these stones? Much of it is utter rubbish on the incessant need for sacrifice. His calm countenance wavers as he says that last word with spit and a hiss. But amongst the dogma are a few bits of wisdom on Gallowayne. Your friend will understand. Is there any more you can tell us? Only to trust in Gallowayne and trust in Whale. Both have blessed you in their own difficult ways. I appreciate the attempt to lift my spirits, Herveus grumbles, but that doesn't really help. Herveus sighs and digs in his ear stump with his index finger. But he has a point. I shall trust Whale has something to show me in the Blood Sands. Let's get going. All right. We'll go ahead and put some levels up for you. You're at survival 7. I guess we'll just take you up to 12. Wild Strike Burn, Wild Strike Shock, bonus 2nd level. I have no idea how to build you up, cuzzo. So sorry about this. I'm going to give you a little defense because I seem to remember you were getting hit up before. What's this? Oh, well, this is awesome. Yeah. Burn them up. Spell Mastery. What's this? Slash. Free. Foe every effect. Vile Thorns. Sure, we'll go with Vile Thorns. I think the Druids are an old song. They are all over this area of the game. Yeah, I had talked with them, but I just didn't talk to them while I had the Druid in the party. That's why it didn't pop up, and that's why I was confused. What's Firebrand? Yeah, I like Firebrand. Next level. Sheesh, we're high level. What level is this? 12. Okay. What's this? Savage attack? Yeah, he seems like a melee guy. Okay. Honestly, they dropped the ball with some of the people that pop up in 2. If they are not major characters like Manea, yeah. To be honest, I never used a druid. Psychic Party and Magic all the way. Yeah, I don't use a druid either, but I finished his quest for the XP. Yeah, I felt like there were definitely some people who should have been in 2 that weren't. The robot chick is the main one that I was upset with. Like she was one of my real favorites, and I was really looking forward to being able to continue using her in 2. So to find out that wasn't a possibility, annoying. I also honestly thought it was kind of strange that they decided to make Palagina the party member who is also available in the second one, because I didn't think she was a real fan favorite. Like, I don't really see her heavily mentioned. I know there are a lot of people like Eder, and a lot of people just like wizards in general, so they're gonna level up. But I didn't feel like the fans were really high on Palagina, so it was kind of odd to me that she was given that kind of respect. But it is what it is. All right, Eder can be down here.
Hey.
And Durance can come down here, I guess. And Alaf can be over on this side, I guess. Wait, who? And I guess he gonna tank for us, because this could go bad very quickly. All right, let's see how this goes. Oh, wait. Also, Spirit Shift, class behavior, use per rest. Oh, no, aggressive. Aggressive, sir. Use all your stuff. Okay. Can't be a threat if you get vaporized in the first turn. Absolutely. They don't really like druids either. There are better magic classes in the game. Devil of Karok. Yeah. Well, Devil of Karok doesn't have to die. One of the endings she dies. And then if that happens, you can get her armor in the second game. But there's another ending where she doesn't die. And if she doesn't die, you don't get her armor in the second game. And she never shows up. Annoying. Nah, I didn't like Pelagina. Yeah, they all loved Eder. Exactly. Eder is the one who was really popular, not Pelagina. Hey, how's it going? Pumped to catch a stream and love your playthrough content. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. Glad you're able to make the stream. Hope you're doing all right, man. All right, let's see how this is gonna go. The druid is not really built for combat. Barath paid his due attack. Actually, that's why I'm here.
Since when do the gods send mortals to collect? You're much too talkative to be the usher. This is the trouble with deities. They meddle in a world that they don't even inhabit. I hope they've promised you something better for your next life.
Good Lord. Boom, ba ba bum, ba ba bum, ba ba bum, bum. You, what do I want you to do? Firebrand.
Love, fear, safety.
Oops. Nope. There we go. You're at 43 as well. I guess we'll go ahead with Eder again. Boom, dum, 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 dum. You. No, this needs to be single target. So we'll do this one. And there we go. Now, Eder. You come on out here with a bar. There we go. And you just give that another whirl. Excellent. Eder, once again, come on out here. There you go. Yep. No, you can't hide just because you're dominated. Come on now. Ooh, other people coming out too? That's not cool. Chanter.
Beyond safety.
We're all still good. We're all still good. Yep. And good. And we're good. Excellent. And we'll pick up this stuff. Now, is there anything we should read? No. Blood. Pick that up. Yep. We're good. Yep. And these people are all wiped out. Excellent.
Certainly.
Second ending, she
I'll see
wandered
what
to
I
the
can
ocean and effectively dies. Interesting. So she does technically die, but you don't get access to her armor. I get that they have to pick and choose whose story to continue, but they had to do the same with Baldur's Rib. But damn, no grieving mother. Come on now. You know how I feel about that. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Where are these damn tiles we're supposed to be looking at? Yeah, I hope I didn't need anyone here too. Is there supposed to be a better way to finish that quest? I actually, when I moved forward with this, I didn't even consider that. Like, hey, there's probably a better way, bruh. It doesn't have to be like this. Who's this? Grieving Mother? Okay. You come out here. There we go. How long are you confused? 5 seconds? Here, you'll do that. And then we'll freeze you in place. I thought druids were pretty cool in this game. A lot easier to fight storm cells, but it's been a while, so could be. Oh! What's going on back there? Good lord. That's a keeper. All right. She... Nope. Deal with him. Because what just happened was unacceptable. Good lord.
That man's down. No.
Durad's such a jerk as usual. You do this. You come around this way. You do this. Good lord, the whole damn the whole dungeon is coming after me at the same time. There we go. Sheesh. Well, that was deeply unfortunate. All right. All right, is this supposed to be one of them? One of the tiles? They eventually work literally everyone into the story of Baldur's Gate 2, though. Yep. Even Doran should have gotten the chance to go to. You spend an insane amount of time digging through his dialogue. Yeah, I'm not through with his quest yet. I'm actually worried that I've waited too long and I'm not going to be able to finish it. I think Paladin Olive makes the most sense lore-wise, to be fair. She works for one of the major powers in Deadfire. That's true. That's true. I forgot about that. They're one of the people who have an ending, right? So Pallegina does make perfect sense. And a lost work would bring him there as well. Makes sense. They are most organic in my opinion. Yep, you're making a great point, Dagon. I completely forgot about that they have one of the endings. Eldar Chartel. Zan never showed in BG2 or Siege of Dragonspear. But I'm fine with stories just ending. Not really a fan of bringing people over just because if there isn't a reason. It has to feel organic. Essence within to nurture.
Each generation, the Onumfoth must stand before the autumnal beast in judgment. The wise endure, passing on their strength. The weak are eaten, their souls ripped to pieces and lost for all time, removing such weakness from the cycle. Well, I guess maybe my tribe wasn't entirely wrong about my spirit form being some sort of soul terror. I suppose I was hoping to hear a different answer on the matter, but...
Herodias shrugs, his arms slumped to his sides. So which... Does it matter whether he sides with Whale or Galawain? It may not matter, but I love Whale while I'm neutral on Galawain, so we're going to go with Whale. A truth is revealed to you. You whine about your distaste for the answer. Whale would be ashamed of you. Herodias blinks at you several times. 2 things. First off, don't lecture me on Whale. Second, you're absolutely right. He has his hands tugging his stomach and he strains his posture. I should be excited by the act of learning, not faltering on my own expectations. Whale would want that. He lets out a long sigh and relaxes. For years, I've been telling myself my tribe judged me unfairly. Guess they weren't completely wrong. Well, enough pontification for the moment, he says, patting down a cowlick of hair. I need to know more. Let's look at those other tablets. All right, let's get to it.
Laying low.
We might need a rest at some point, but hopefully we can get through another fight without getting completely obliterated like we almost did on this last one. All right, so we go up here, then go through here. Oh, I can almost... Can I see the tiles from the map? Kind of, but not really. All right.
Yes? Love me up.
Mm-hmm. Dun, 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 dun. This scene. Oh, he's paralyzed? Good lord. Or petrified, rather. Even worse. Are you using your heals, bro? Because it doesn't seem like it. Why are so many of your spells here? I don't understand what's happening. Ba, 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 ba. And you... Is this petrifying enemies in the area effect? Doom, da, da, doom, da, da, doom, da, da, doom, doom. Here. Wherever Eder is, he's the most reliable. There we go. You, way back here, stop that. Whatever it is you're doing, stop it. Good lord. That was highly uncool. All right, you stopped. She's down for the count for right now. There we go. Is he's still paralyzed, so... Oh, they're good? We're good? Oh, no, wait. Why did he leave? Why wouldn't he deal with the chanter? All right, whatever. Either way, we're good. You're done for. All right. Sheesh.
All right, then.
Hey, at least I get to loot the whole area now.
As souls split into multitudes, many lives come from one. The truest of power comes from sacrificing the shard to return its strength to the Mother Stone.
I forgot. Yes, you could be right. I remember shard. Yep. Chantel is definitely not in there.
The many lives from one sounds familiar. I was taught that sometimes between death and rebirth, a soul splits perfectly in two, creating two viable souls from one. Sounds strange, but it makes sense when you think about how the population has risen in generations. It's kind of a mathematical necessity that some process like this is happening.
Why is Minx brought back to life? That's kind of wild. That only happened because he's such a popular character. But what was supposed to be the reasoning for that? So why did Whale lead you to this tablet? Herveus scratches at his ear stump as has his gaze drags along the floor. If that druid really wanted me to see this tablet, and if Whale really is guiding my quest for knowledge, there's someone out there who has the same soul pass as me. So what? That's probably true of most of us. I just can't shake the fear that I'm the shard and my destiny is to be fed to something greater. Herveus stares at you, wide-eyed and silent for several moments. Guess worrying won't do me any good. Let's read those other tablets. I think they said 4 of them, right?
Light, flame, and sound.
Where are we?
We'll keep to ourselves.
We're down here and then go towards the front. Okay, cool. Oh, okay, cool. It's not that many of them, hopefully. Naka. Yep, you're down. Yeah, you know, I'm starting to hope as well. I'm like, yeesh, I hope I don't need these people, but I'm not turning back. We've made a decision. Boom, boom. Oh, okay, that's a wrap. Oh, god dog it. I hate when that happens.
Spot on.
Excellent. There you go. Now we're good. Ooh. Oh, this is gonna be rough. That.
Lavaru, be on.
Durant's. Actually, got dug it. Is this for only? Yep. Weakened and terrified. We'll take that. What's the problem? Why are you just standing around there, bruh? Oh, you're stunned. What about you? Why are you just standing around? Come on now. Dritz friends, so I hate it there, and I love Dritz books. I didn't know you stream. Saying, what's going on? Yeah, man, I've been I haven't been as consistent with it as I should be, but I've decided to be much more serious recently. So, yeah, every Monday and Wednesday most definitely, but I'll try to stream more than that during the week when I can, honestly. It's pretty funny. Minx had a statue of him and Boo in a garden. A mage had a wild surge that brought the statue of them to life. There's a mystery as to whether it was just a statue or if it was actually Minx and Boo who had been petrified at some point. Interesting. Once on Whisper Hills the last year in the game. I can't remember Minx Braun, but there was a former party member there. But Minx's memories are intact. Like he thinks that the mage that brought him back to life is Nira, but is totally different person. Huh. That's actually not. That's actually kind of cool. I'm not that mad at it. Boom, 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 boom. Uh-oh. Why is he running back like that? Why is a whole bunch of people pausing and waiting? There's an enemy in front of us. Let's get to moving, y'all. Okay, let's go. That was just weird. Okay, whatever. Ooh, something blue over here. Shh. Oh, yeah. Go here first. Fine. Come on now. What is going on? Freeze him. Why isn't he frozen? What's the problem, y'all? Let's get it together, shall we? Oh, he was just about to get to freezing him. There we go. I was about to say, come on, man. And now all of a sudden you armor us up.
They shall see nothing while I see much.
I don't know. I feel like was only reason to put Minx in his fan service, which is cool, but not good writing. Hey, there's only one person here I felt like was absolutely necessary. So it looks like if it's necessary for a quest, they don't let you kill. Ooh, whoops. That's what I get for just running around. I dug it.
Yes.
There we go. Paralyzed to the very end. Excellent.
Certainly.
Well, now that I know I'll be here, dude, I've been watching Rav content. Thank you. Glad you've been enjoying it. Hope you enjoy the stream. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why did it go up high like that? There we go. And, yep, this is the direction I want to go in. And once again, yep. Come on. Yep. Chop him up. Freeze him. He's going to be frozen for a little while. Yeah, he's not going to be able to get past that. Yep, there we go. I see that flash up there. Looks like we got more enemies up there. Shouldn't be a problem, though. We need 2 more tablets? I thought they said it was 4 tablets, right? And I feel like we've done 2. So seems like there should be 2 more. See, 1 here. Where's the other one supposed to be? Why didn't he have... All right. Tanner. Fine. Fine. Ooh, 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 ooh. You're dominated for 7 seconds. You're paralyzed for 9 seconds. We'll deal with you first.
Yes.
Yeah. You're definitely good. There you go. Excellent. So I really wonder if there was a way to do that without killing everybody.
Is not the water sacrificed unto the
But I don't.
plant, and the plant sacrificed unto livestock, and livestock unto man? When the lesser soul is sacrificed to strengthen the greater soul, the whole of our family grows stronger.
But I don't like Larian Studios' writing anyways. I think they got better, but it's still not good for me. What do you dislike about their writing? Hey, Argo, what's going on, man? How are you? Hey, Slandered, glad I could catch at least a bit of your stream. How are you doing tonight? I got no complaints, man. Did you put in your vote on the recent Wrath of the Righteous survey? I don't know if you caught it, but they are wondering if people would like an additional race as DLC. A couple of people have already commented that they chose that specifically because they're hoping that rat folk will be put into the game. So definitely make sure you throw your hat in there, man. Whisper Hills, Johnson. Yeah, I was thinking another. I also feel like you're not being fair. You're not speaking from fair when you critique something without reading, seeing it. If you have read it, then you have every right to say it's bad if that's what you want to believe. If you want to read it, they actually have the comics. Minx comes back in on Humble Bundle for another day. Interesting. So wait, what's the name of the comic where Minx comes back? I voted on that. Awesome. I hope they align with what you're looking for, Boss Page. I know a couple of people were saying that this isn't going to mean anything. At the end of the day, Owlcat is just going to do the cheapest thing possible. I don't think that's true. I think they're actually asking for feedback because they want to make sure the next DLC that they do is successful.
I suppose I get the argument. We all have to kill and eat constantly, for that matter, to live. This sounds like it's talking about the Blood Sands rituals. I wonder how, or even if, this is relevant to me.
You wear an eye patch of whale. I thought you were supposed to love cryptic information like this. Hervea stares at you with a smile. A fair point. Whale wanted me to see this, so what about it applies to me? His voice sinks and his face turns pale. Am I the lesser soul? Was being cast out of my tribe the sacrifice that made the greater soul stronger? I don't know. Just sounds like they're trying to justify their practices of killing people. Come on, let's see what the other tablets have to say. All right, so I think there should be one more tablet somewhere around here. I didn't know there was a poll. I would try to get it. Is it on Reddit? If you look at the community tab on my channel, I put out a posting with a link to the survey. They also put it out on Twitter. So you can look on Owlcat's Twitter page as well. Either way. Oh, here we go. Some more people I haven't dealt with, apparently. They shall see nothing, while I shall see much.
Yes.
Damn. They got dealt with quick.
Sharp eyes and keen ears.
Oh, come on. Where's the last damn tablet? What did I miss? There were no tablets over here, right? Let me make sure. No tablet over here. I did that tablet. No tablet back here. I'm confused. Yep, yep, yep. Did that. Got that, right?
As souls split into multitudes, many lives come from one. The truest of power comes from sacrificing the shard to return its strength to the Mother Stone.
How the hell did I miss that tablet? Well, hold on. There were 7 options I wanted. Nice. Well, at least they're hopefully going in the direction you were looking for. If Rat Folk get added, I will play every Mythic Path as one. So I see that somebody else is passionate about Rat Folk as Argo is. Divinity Original Sin is the worst story I ever went through. The second game was leagues better, but still mediocre at best. So yeah, maybe it's for Ignis, but twice burned. In an RPG game, I should say. Right, but why? What do you dislike? What do you dislike about the writing in Divinity Original Sin 2? I agree with you about the first one. I only enjoy playing that because I love the co-op experience. My wife and I actually played that together because it was simple enough where I could carry her the whole game, whereas I couldn't do that in Divinity Original Sin 2. But what did you dislike about the writing in the sequel game? As for me, I am tired as heck, as one can imagine. Prime days. Oh, Prime week for us is hell for those working in the warehouse. I'm sure. I'm sure. But you also get to make some extra money, right? So that must be nice. Dungeons and Dragons Legends of Baldur's Gate is where Minx comes back. Slandered Gaming voice while doing work early in the morning. Perfection. Thanks, Edson. Glad you're able to make the stream. And glad you're enjoying it. I see it. Thanks. Awesome. Good job, Argo. I was already 100 showed. So far, Mythic Path was 1, and expanded content was in everyone's vote. 3 and 4 are the one I wanted the most was post game content. Like I want the commander story to continue. I'm at Mythic level 10. I've got all this power now. Give me some additional content where I can actually play around with all this cool stuff I have. I kind of want Wrath of the Righteous to be used as a hub to sell other Pathfinder adventures more content. Like by having Wrath of the Righteous, you get an expansion to let you do Rise of the Rune Lords or something. But I am probably a minority on that opinion. You know, I can't really speak on it because I'm not familiar with Pathfinder lore as far as tabletop. So I don't have any thoughts on like what are other areas of Pathfinder that I would like for them to do. And I think it's my question really is what is the relationship like between Pazzo and Owlcats? Because while I'm cool with them going over to Warhammer 40K, I do think it's strange, especially considering that there's a Pathfinder set that is specifically in space. So it doesn't seem like there's anything in Warhammer 40K that they couldn't have just went on ahead and done in Pathfinder. So makes me wonder if Owlcat decided, you know what, we want to go ahead and what's it called, expand our options or whatever for whatever reason. Fingers crossed they act on this. They are at a critical juncture. Well, if it's not written by Larian Studios, I guess that's better. But like I said, one of my phase writers did that with Dritz, and I didn't like it then. I just like the stories. I just want more. I want more. My only problem with Original Sin 2 came from all the bugs, namely activating abilities and then taking HP, but the ability not being used. Yeah, there were a ton of bugs when it came out. And I think some of those bugs never got fixed, to be honest with you. I voted for that too, and the new region. Yes, the money is nice. Assuming overtime doesn't get canceled for some reason, I'll make a little over 1K this week alone. Nice. That's nothing to sneeze at.
We already read this inscription. Let's
Oh.
try another one.
Oh, okay. So I did read this. God dog it. All right, fine. So what did I miss, bro? All right, there's nothing over here. Wait, is this an inscription? Oh, I was looking for something
Upon
large.
Burial Isle, the two men meet again for the first time, though it was the last thing they did. The many-colored beast rent them both asunder. They were in death, merged, and made whole again.
It has the same disjointed problem one did. It was paced better, but at least from bringing this grand cosmic adventure and this grounded traditional RPG, it kind of felt you're playing an in-game plot line. I can see that. I can see that. I don't know if it makes me feel like the writing is necessarily weaker, but I can see how that would be a type of game story that you dislike. I get the feeling, yeah, they were burnt out on Pathfinder when they expand their options. That's the word I was looking for. Expand to different options. The 4 tablets are the friends we made along the way. I voted. I wish I could have specifically said rat folk as well, but if they know that's what many people want, then hopefully they will get in the DLC. Yep, I'm pulling for you, man. I'm pulling for you.
Cute story. 2 guys meet in the belly of a soul-eating creature. Maybe someday I'll eat 2 of the most insipid deer wooden lumberjacks, and they'll spend an eternity discussing beer whilst haunting my colon.
Your colon, dude? Wow. Perhaps the idea is that the Autumn Stelgar might not really destroy the souls. That could be true, Herveus mutters, but I guess I don't know what to make of this. I've never, knowingly at least, eaten anyone's soul. Maybe it's a trick I've yet to learn. Lucky me. I mean, if you add what the other tablets were saying about the Stelgar judging Anamfatha and reuniting lesser souls and such, Herveus folds his arms and looks at you pensively. Okay, the druid was right. I did need to read these tablets. Too bad I'm still confused. It's safe to say Whale brought you to where you needed to be? You could most certainly say that, Herveus says with a smile. So my tribe was right. The Autumn Stelgar is some sort of soul-destroying beast, but I merely borrowed the creature's form, not its reason for being. I doubt I'll change their minds about anything, and it's not like I want to develop a new group of druidic peers amongst these artisans of sacrifice. So what now? Adding it up, I want to head to the burial isle. The name was mentioned in the tablets, and it's implied there might be other Autumn Stelgars there. I did not want to hear verification that the Autumn Stelgar was such a terrifying monster, but I am thankful to Whale for bringing me to these tablets. The truth is valuable, especially when it is painful. Do you want a rematch with the Autumn Stelgar? Not exactly. I'm older, wiser, and stronger than when we last tussled, but I can't really afford to lose any more eyes or ears. I'm fresh out of redundant organs. All right. He needs to go to the burial isle. No problem. I'll take care of that at a later point. Explore the burial aisle. I don't think we can access the burial aisle yet. Or maybe we can, but we just can't jump into the pit. I assume Games Workshop reached out to Owlcat for this game. And who doesn't like the ability to work with multiple IPs, you know? That's a good point as well. Who want to, especially an IP as big as Warhammer, I'm sure they were excited to get the opportunity. It also caused a problem where you have these long plot lines where you're helping this troll in the political situation in this town, then the end of existence, guy's dying plot. Got you. Okay. Yo, how are you doing? Got yourself mods now? Oh. It's not mods. It's stream elements. It's like an automatic chat theme that comes through. doing a little bit of the work for me. A little bit. To be frank, that's how lots of adventure paths happen. Rise of the Runelands is one of the best ones. Starts with you killing a few funny goblins and turns into fighting a supercharged wizard before you can destroy everyone around you. Interesting. I knew, is that where I want to go? Yeah, because I could. Yeah, I got to go to Old Song before I can go there, and yeah, I'm good on that. We'll come back. It's probably appealing to make one of the first 40K CRPGs as well. Yeah, I'm sure they're getting a lot of pub from this, right? Especially when the game comes out. I honestly felt like when Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous came out, a lot of publications kind of ignored the launch that shouldn't have. And so I definitely don't feel like they're going to have that problem this time. But your patrols intervened. Ooh, prestigious visitor. Yeesh. A wealthy noble. He seeks your aid in defending him from rivals. Do I need to actually talk to this dude? Wizard before. I saw there are new romances was another option. I wonder if they would add Nanio as an option. Even if her being a romance may or may not be in character for her, I think it would be very interesting. For science, of course. I didn't even think about that. If I had given that the slightest thought, I would have immediately selected more romance options. Damn. I didn't even consider the possibility of them making Nanio a romance option, but absolutely, that would be incredible. As far as silliness goes, the sixth of reign of winter sends you to Russia to kill Rasputin while World War One rages on. Nice. I see you some more. I'd like to do chat out. Awaken, what's going on? Good to see you too. Glad you're able to make the stream. Rain and winter is all. I can't see Nano in a romantic light, even for science. Celia would be cool, but I know they won't do that since she's an iconic character from Pazza. Yeah, I hate that. Oh yeah, by the way, I saw you got a new profile art. Very nice. Thank you, Argo. Appreciate it. You know, like I said, I just want more. During my Lich run, we'll finish the siege of Dresden once I'm back from work. Necromancy School sucks early game. I absolutely agree. Honestly, I don't like Necromancy without the Lich. Like, for me, he's the one that really makes it viable. Let's say before we talk to this dude, I don't know how hard that quest is. I'm with the yep. Yeah, but adventure paths don't start you as a chosen one fighting the demigods of yore. That's the bit I don't like. When the Lord of Locusts shows up, you're screwed. Nobody expects you to 1v1 him. Reign of Winter is a hard no, explicitly said by Alcat. Bad AP, but also as Russians, it's very cringe. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Ah, it's good you're here. I simply must speak with you, my lord. Very well, let's hear it. You call for your allies to stride towards your throne. The way I have is, if they have major issues with the 40K launch, 40K fans are less forgiving and will likely riot. Well, I feel like the Kingmaker launch was terrible, and the Wrath of the Righteous launch was, I put it like right below acceptable. The fact that the Lich Mythic Path was broken up on release, I feel like is really, really damning. And the game is obviously buggy as hell, but it was still way better than the way Kingmaker was. So hopefully that evolution will continue and 40K's launch will be even better. Plus, it seems like they're going to do the same thing for 40K that they did for Wrath of the Righteous, where they're going to have a long beta period, let a bunch of people play, a bunch of people stamp out all those bugs, and that's obviously going to help as well. Yeah, but let's be honest. How many good 40K games are there? Yeah, and those games still sell decently even though they're trash, so they list a new possible romance in Targona is an option. Woo! I didn't know that. Now I'm confused. Are you saying you don't like Wrath of the Righteous, or are you saying that you don't like starting as a chosen one, something else? Cool, true day guy. Yeah, it definitely won't be done. I just said that it's fun. Personally, I hope a pirate AP. Pirate AP would be cool. I don't like flopping back and forth. You need to be a god killer and deal with that, or work your way up if that's the story. Not flip flop. That's the bit I take issue with. Yeah, the Lich brokenness was hard. It's a whiplash effect for me. Yeah, I understand that. They've been chasing Dawn of War success. What made Dawn of War so good compared to the other games? Yeah, that worked out great for Pillars of Eternity. As I'm sure you are well aware, wealth has a way of birthing enemies. My fortress is beset by thieves. I'm sure one of the lesser nobles is after my treasury. This has a stink of jealousy upon it. It will be weeks before I can secure my holdings, and by then it will be too late. And I haven't the connections to hire mercenaries on short notice. And so I turn to you, my lord. Is there anything you can do? I'll see that these jealous rivals are dealt with. Marvelous. May I inquire as to your intentions? Can we just have missives sent? I don't want to give up Aleph. I'll have missives sent to, or you know what? I could give up Aleph and replace him with the chick who uses the bow and arrow. I could do that, but I don't want to. I'll have missives sent to every noble in my lands. Letters, my lord? Do you think that's sufficient? On second thought, perhaps not. Fine. Make a stand. Defend your keep. What about that? I don't have the resources, my lord. My forces spread thin. I need an army. Knights of the Crucible, positive 2. You'll have support from the Crucible Knights. That should be more than enough to fend off these thieves. Thank you, Lord Slandered. That's bound to do the trick. I can't wait to see those ruffians scatter. Speaking of which, I completely forgot the city's back open. We should go visit it and see what's going on. You don't have anything to say, right? Yeah, waiting on your orders, my lord. And what's up in here? Patchwork boots. And the rest of this is enchantment related stuff. Excellent. All right. Let's go ahead and stronghold party. You're out of
Meanwhile,
here.
watch your step.
No, I'm gonna clear stuff out and then bring you in. So we'll get her back, get my full team back, and accept. Excellent. And then we'll rest. And I'm not worried about mechanics now. We should be fine. I'm gonna go for might. And there we go. Now we'll head out. That's fine. It's in the war. I just don't. Dawn of War was a very solid real-time strategy for its time.
This place,
Dawn of
as
War
beautiful as it can be with the absence of children.
did something different with it being a real-time strategy that used an uncommon resource system and some fun other game modes. It had more than one enemy faction and captured the feel of the tabletop. I never played Dawn of War 3, so I can't really have an objective opinion on it. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think I've played a real-time strategy game yet that I felt like I could really get into because I'm so story-heavy. And I feel like most of the time when you play these strategy games, like the story is very loose. You're kind of supposed to just come up with it on your own in your head. That doesn't really work for me. Like other things I could just imagine come up with on my own, but I need to feel like there's a structure, the bones of a story there. Ooh, I forgot. What else? Radric's Hold. He's sitting there waiting for us as well. We need to deal with him. I completely forgot about him. But you know, we're going to go through this first. I want to do this first. All right. We did Hearth Song. We did Elm's Reach. Let's do Old Song. Let's find out what's going on over there. Or was Old Song, is that where we came from? No, that's not where we came from, right? I don't think we've been there yet. Okay, yeah, this is new. This is new. Cool, cool, cool. My hope is they dive deep into the cultures of Xenos and 40K want more. Desperately want to be DOTA and lost the fun in the process. Bro, I have to get prepped for my campaign's debate tomorrow. I should at least lie in bed while I watch the stream.
If secrets whisper here, I shall listen.
Who are you? An Orlan woman stares at the sky with the air of deep contemplation. She occasionally puffs from a wooden pipe, blowing smoke into perfect rings. What stands before me? She wipes her lips with the back of her hand. Her teeth, uneven and pointy, are stained red. I do not see Estromorn often. She picks the remains of an ochre rope stuck in her gums. And believe me, I see many things. Perhaps you want to see them too, yes? She gestures behind her at an assortment of plants, roots, and files lying on the rug. Let me see what you have for trade. I present these happily. And scroll up paralysis. Bop, 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 bop. Nope, nothing we want here. But good to see another vendor. Does that mean there are more?
Be constant.
There are more vendors here for us to work with? Because I was afraid that we had seen all the vendors because I thought there was supposed to be some really cool things you could buy here. Stubbs, thanks for the $10, man. I appreciate it. Got to bounce, got work early. Enjoy the stream, even though I've never played Pillars of Eternity. Looks like fun. Have a good night. You too, man. Take care. Glad you enjoyed the stream. Protector, protector. What's going on here? What's this?
They shall see nothing while I see much.
Ooh, it's not even considered stealing. It's like it's just here for me, meant to be here. Excellent. So I went up here, but I didn't go inside here. Then I came around here. That's the way to the burial isle. Oh, that's Noonfrost Old Song Pass. Okay. Oh, Hylia Shrine is the exit for that is here as well. Okay.
Be cautious.
Be constant. All right. I'm not
Sickness
ready to
whisper
go to the
healing,
burial
I shall
isle yet.
listen for.
I shall be discreet.
Whoa. Ooh. That's not cool.
I hope our
A chill hovers over the frozen lake, draining the air of warmth.
I hope our duties won't require us to linger too long.
We'll stay as long as we need to, Aleph. All right. Let's see how this goes. The character's endurance is reduced to 0. The character's knocked out. Give me a second. Let me get some more to drink. Sparkling ice. Locate the frost breach and new frost. I thought they guaranteed 2 additional seasons of DLC. Did they say they're only doing 2 and then they'll just wait and see how that does? I have not finished Edge Runners yet. I think I'm 2 episodes away from finishing it. I got distracted by Game of Thrones, which I am now fully up to date on. Really enjoying the series. I honestly think I'm enjoying season 1 of this show better than I enjoyed season 1 of the original run, even though I don't think there's really anything in season 1 that equals the heights of the original run yet, but we'll have to give that time. But I do have to say, I felt like the way black people were treated in the original Game of Thrones run was pretty terrible. I did not appreciate it at all. And thus far, even though there are more black people in this run, I'm not all that happy with it in this run either.
I'll see what I can find.
Rimmergand. The pale elf searches you with ice blue eyes. She shifts and knits her fingers together. Welcome to Noonfrost. Most of the temple is currently closed for sacred ceremonies to Rimmergand. She forces a smile and waves to the eastern doorway. The shrine is to your right. You're welcome to make your offerings to Rimmergand there, but the rest of the temple is off limits. I'm looking for the frost-hewn breach. Actually, what are you doing here? My clan journeyed from the White That Wins to pay homage to Rimmergand here at Noonfrost. We learned that this place has been abandoned for several years, and we felt it our duty to tend to one of our god's oldest temples. She rolls her shoulders back. It has been a long journey, but Rimmergand demands endurance. No doubt he will reward us for ours. Her eyes dart between the 2 doors on either side of the room. If that's all, why is most of the temple closed? As I said, we're in the middle of sacred ceremonies. She enunciates carefully. They're rather complex, and we don't permit outsiders to witness them. She glances at the elves over her shoulder. Others of my clan get rather touchy about them, which is why you should visit the shrine and take your leave. I'm looking for the frost-hewn breach. Actually, no, tell me about Rimmergand. He's the god of cold, entropy, and collapse. Many see him as a harsh god, but few recognize that he also gives life in his own way. All things wind to a merciful end in his shadow, only to feed creation elsewhere. She frowns, gnawing her lip. But he is a silent god, and his ways are mysterious. To follow him is to accept inevitability without explanation. In this matter, and in the legacy, it seems the gods are often silent when we most crave guidance. Anyways, I'm going to get off of writing and just be mad about grieving mother being shelved for Pillars of Eternity too. That's all you can do, man. That's all you can do. How did you like main story? Edge Runners is so good. The tragic tale showing that living in California sucks and Latinos can slow down time. I thought Maine was fantastic. I think the show is fantastic thus far. I'm a little apprehensive because I just feel like I'm heading towards a sorrowful end. It just doesn't feel like the type of show where there's going to be a happy end for everybody, but I'm still enjoying the ride. I think it's very, very well made. Never actually watched Game of Thrones. Would you say it's still worth the watch despite the apparent issues, disappointment you mentioned? Do you mean they have racist elements or something? I would say Game of Thrones is very well made and certainly still worth watching. Um, I wouldn't say it's not like you're looking at a show full of racist people who are like racist towards black folks. It's more about the showrunners, how they treat black characters. Black characters, absolutely in the first run, and it seems like that's continuing in the second run, are oftentimes treated as essentially throwaway characters. Like a Game of Thrones, everybody can die at any time. So everybody, technically is a throwaway character. But a lot of other people's deaths were treated with a lot more respect. And they had much better runs while they were still alive. Where a lot of times with the black characters, they're undermined until they decide to just kill them off. And it's often done in ways that I would consider to some degree inhumane. And so that's what I find frustrating about the show. It just doesn't treat its black characters well at all. And so with the second run, I feel like a lot of this first season is set up, and so we'll see how the second season goes. But in the first, yeah, I didn't appreciate it, to be honest with you. Yeah, Edge Runners was great. I'm curious to hear your full thoughts on the series once you finish the slander. I'll definitely talk about it. There are no happy endings in Night City. Yeah, that's what I figured. Figured definitely. The peak race cringe in Game of Thrones is Martin claiming that Dothraki are Mongols and Amerindians with just a dash of fantasy. Exactly. Stuff like that. Stuff like that. I'm hoping for the Aragon TV series. I like it when the dragon and writer are intelligent and one is just a beast. There's back and forth growth between the two. I didn't know they were making a TV series of that. So that should be very interesting, definitely. I never read it, but I've heard about it. I've seen the covers. I'm looking for the frost-hewn breach. The bear's flush rises in her pale cheeks. As I said, only the shrine in the eastern wing is open. The rest of the temple is closed to visitors right now. I suggest that you make your devotions there and leave. Avalon was the writer for Durant's and Grieving Mother? I did not realize that. That's the dude who ended up like being in a really awful situation with a chick at one of the little conferences, right? Where she felt like he had kind of forced himself upon her or something like that. That's the guy. Her cheeks flush, Watcher. Perhaps she misinterpreted what you meant by frost-hewn breach. Oh, wow.
Slowly now.
All right, let's see what's going on. Okay, so they're not attacking at this time, and that's considered stealing. So I can go to the right and pray at the shrine. Where's the shrine, though? Oh, wait, hold on. Pick this up. Hold, Wanderer. Venturing beyond all doors is forbidden. Do not trespass against our will. Oh, that's the shrine.
Thoughts will be as silent as my feet.
Yeah, I read the books and they are super good. Is that true? Yeah, the books are excellent. I thoroughly enjoyed the books. Thoroughly enjoyed them, even though it's disappointing that it seems like they won't be finished. Honestly, the last season of Game of Thrones kind of ruins the whole series a bit. Felt like they ran out of something at the end. They didn't run out of anything. The showrunners didn't want to do it anymore. And HBO didn't want to have to get brand new showrunners that knew nothing about the series. So they were determined to use these showrunners. The showrunners were determined to quit. So they took what should have been like another 3 or 4 seasons worth of material and decided to cram it into a couple of seasons so they could run off and do. They were supposed to do Star Wars, if I remember correctly. And then Game of Thrones, the reaction to how they treated the series ended up being so horrible that Disney axed their Star Wars movie. Then they went on, and if I remember correctly, the next thing they were going to do was a TV series. I forgot what was supposed to be the name of it, but it was basically supposed to be about what would have happened if the South hadn't lost the Civil War and, you know, slavery was still continuing in America and all that kind of stuff. And there was a big uproar about it. Like, people like, really? That's what you want to make your series about? You're revealing yourself even more. And now I haven't heard anything about them since. So I don't know if they're still supposed to be working on that or what's supposed to be happening with them. Each line and wrinkle of this warrior's weather-beaten frown has been chiseled from the ice. Currently doing the most difficult part of any Rather Rights playthrough, finding a character portrait I am satisfied with. What's going on, Demas? Glad you're able to make it. Retired my demon pack holder from Oz Arts after I resurrect the host with demon badges. That's absolutely going to backfire. If I don't order a death with demon badges. 3, what's going on, man? How are you doing? Hopefully my mic sounds a little bit louder for you this time. Let me know. Also used the portrait mod, 100,000 to peruse. You know what? I haven't installed any mods for Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous yet, besides Toy Box. I think I'm going to do that for this Angel run. It showed. And Disney punished them. Absolutely punished them. I want to make a Minotaur. It's like the 4th time I tell about Avalon and you were surprised every time. You know, like, because I have such an appreciation for people who are able to make consistently fantastic characters. And I think it's also a shame that it ends up being the person who lacks the self-control. Like I'm not like, you know, some sort of holy roller, and I don't try to judge. So it's not about necessarily him cheating, but bruh, as famous as you are, as known as you are, there's no reason you should be forcing yourself on people. Come on, bruh. Plus, I know you got the money if you really need something that bad. Hope the Conan show is still coming. Oh, Conan? That doesn't interest me. Conan live action is not the same to me without Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's hard for me to get excited. Comic books, love the comic series, but the live action, Game of Thrones showrunners are considered geniuses because they made sex position a plot movie device. Prove me wrong. There you go. I can hear you without having to turn my PS4 on. That's awesome. That's awesome. Glad to hear it. Your mic is good in my ears. Fantastic. Hey, you just need 2. Yeah, I keep hearing about BuffBot and haven't used it yet, so I'm going to try it. Yeah, he's had rather questionable accusations against him. Since then, he's worked on Kingmaker, Into the Breach, and a bunch of other games. That's awesome. That's all. Like, I think it was pretty obvious he learned his lesson. I think it's like, it wasn't, from, if I remember it correctly, it wasn't like he was considered a serial abuser going around doing crazy things to a bunch of chicks. He did something that he had no business doing to one chick. She made it clear how little she appreciated it. He was punished. His reputation was damaged, and he had to figure out how to recover from that. And he's learned, okay, I could never do that again. And now he's able to get back to it, move on with his career. And while at the same time, hopefully she feels like justice on at least some level was done, and he was held accountable for what he was doing. So to me, it's all a win-win, hopefully.
That's settled.
I don't know if I'm doing this right, but we're going to go ahead and just go on in here. Because, yeah, they only want me to be at the shrine. So I might have to wipe all these people out. Yeah, that's fine. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Excellent.
Keeping an eye out.
Spot on!
Boop, boop.
Keeping an eye out.
Certainly.
See now what the flame has shown us?
I remember having to do this in a specific way. Well, hopefully the way I'm doing it is the specific way it has to be done. Why would anyone worship a god of oblivion? I've never felt like I had enough time, but one of these days I'd be happy to do a whole playthrough, Pillars of Eternity 2, where I worship Remigan and basically try to bring about the end of everything. That would be awesome. Absolutely awesome. Because they are stuck on Earth. Besides being crazy, I guess it gives us some spells. Like Earth, it has games. You can't play games if you don't exist. What do you mean he gives them some spells? A young Orlin scrambles on the stone floor, pressing her back against the wall and baring her teeth at you. Her fur is patchy and matted. As you step into the room, she squints and turns her large ears toward you. A heavy sigh escapes her tiny body. Beast, take me. My eyes mistook you for one of them. Please, get me out of here. What happened to you? When Noonfrost began freezing the lake, my sister, Lara, sent me to seek out the cause. She scowls at the dingy room. The pale Estra Morn sees me before I can report back. These pale elves are behind it. They showed up in Twin Elves not long ago, saying they wanted to see to the upkeep of Noonfrost. I don't know how, but they opened that frost-hewn breach at the back of the temple. Sucks warmth and life straight into their frozen god's barren domain. She shivers. They've got to be stopped. It's only a matter of time before the cold spreads further. Can you tell me anything about the frost-hewn breach? She shakes her head. Not really. Something to do with Mimrigan, the beast of winter. I follow Galloway myself. Tell me about the people that captured you. She snarls, her pointed teeth flashing. A clan of pale elves from the white that wins, devotees of Rimmergon, or so they claim. Their actions suggest other intent. They've come ready to fight. Wizards, priests, and paladins. A wizard named Glashvale leads them, a man obsessed with the frost-hewn breach. My ears hear him through the wall, casting spells and calling upon strange powers. I don't know what he wants with it, but no good can come of it. Make a run for it. Go. She turns toward the hall, her large ears angled forward. As fast as my feet can carry me, she scrambles for the exit on emaciated arms and legs. At the door, she glances back at you. Thank you, Esther Moore. And be careful. She melts into the shadows. Avalon was considered alcoholic. He was accused by a friend of his ex-girlfriend of trying to non-consensually go after her at a con. Boy, this truth is very debatable. I'll DM you some links. Oh, I thought it was like supposed to be a foregone conclusion that, yo, he definitely did something messed up. I didn't know that was debatable. That's actually good to know. These bronze manacles gleam with frost. Like, no, I thought, didn't he write a whole apology? I swear he wrote a whole apology that everybody read. It was like, oh, okay, there's nothing to fight about here. This guy definitely did it. But maybe I'm misremembering that. That. And that. Divine casters get their powers from God, either spells or prayers answers, which would be a pretty solid reason to worship him. Oh, but hell, you ain't gonna be able to use them spells after he gets through destroying everything in sight. Once that happens, it's a wrap for that. You, Eder, come out a little further, please, sir. There you go. Let's get that beam stuff going. There you go. Excellent. Bum, 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 bum.
Laying low.
Certainly.
Ooh, an Oblivion playthrough of Pillars of Eternity 2 would be real cool to suit. See, bonus points if he used it, he would die. Feel like that's the type of spell one of the gods would give you. Here we go. Here.
Oh, I bring your end.
You. Ooh.
Mow it.
I bring
Whoa. No, 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 no. Actually, here, fine. Because she is already frozen and whatnot. Excellent. And you can do that too. There we go. And there we go. Boom, doom, doom. Is this the front?
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
Boom, 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 boom. Whoa. I hate when it just goes down to the side for no reason. There was an X-Men that had the power of exploding, which if he used it, he would die. Felt like... What X-Men was that? I don't remember that at all. Then again, there's so much craziness happening with X-Men right now that I shouldn't even be surprised. Like, it's hard to keep up with who all the X-Men are and what's going on with them these days. And there we go. Also, probably should have done that to Durant's. Way to drop the ball, Margaret. The water of this well has frozen solid, trapping small fish from the lake underneath the temple. Refracted light dapples the icy mirror behind this statue. Always trust the magic. My main pillar of Eternity 2 playthrough so far, I've been taking every opportunity to disrespect all the guys. We've taken whatever choices I need to oppose them the most. I'm going to be the complete opposite. My character is going to be very loyal to Barath. My character sees Barath as one of the few folks trying to hold things together. Mm-hmm. Damn, Durance is getting hit up, bro. This is rough. And you. Everybody's freaking confused around here. Good Lord. Better. Is she attacking anybody? She's not. That's why she's not getting any focus. Good Lord. No. Stay on him. Yeah, they're not getting nearly the focus that they should be. Whoa, what in the hell? Come on now. There. Excellent. Durance, come on, bruh. That was kind of a pitiful showing on your part.
Certainly.
Here we go. The pages of this tomb glisten under a thick layer of frost. And the magic of friendship. They are mutually exclusive after all. The X-Men are a mess right now. I mean, yeah. It's impossible to be able to keep track of what's going on. Like, I think last time I looked at it, Cyclops is supposed to be a villain. It was a story of the worst mutant power ever. It was basically they found out he could explode, but that was it. He'll blow up like a normal person would. Yeah, that's not a power I would wish for. I care the Shadowrunner principle. Never, ever make a deal with a dragon over to every gate. The Pillar of Eternity guys definitely qualify. I can't necessarily say that I would disagree with that principle.
Yes.
Better. Come around. There you go. Ooh. He went down real quick.
Keeping an eye out. I'll see what I can find.
It's useful now. With current Marvel, wouldn't have to go over to another.
I can do that. That's settled.
Go to another ball.
I can do that. That's settled.
Ooh, there was an ice key in there. Thick patches of fur cling to the tent of leather. Despite the chill, the bedrolls feel warm inside. Isn't that nice? That dude needs the ultimate nullifier. Shame he could explode with just part of himself at a time. Get more mileage out of that power. This looks like it might be the end.
See now what the flame has shown us?
Oh no, that's just a regular sorceress. The chair radiates an unnatural, bone-chilling cold. I was about to say, I wasn't sure she was even an enemy, but now I know. Okay. Definitely gonna have to do that and that. You come around. There we go. Now you're paralyzed, and now you're down for the count.
Keeping an eye out.
Pick up whatever this is. Frost, smudged with handprints, covers these books.
Nice and quiet.
Ah, like he shakes hands with BBEJ. Shadowrun Cyberpunk 1, number 1 rule, do not mess with cops. Seal the frost-hewn breach. Oh, no, I didn't want to start this yet. Rimergon, open your eyes to me. I'm not ready to start this yet. No.
Gods, it's gotten hot.
Whatever is going on in the other side, I want to do that first. Because I think once you seal it, they automatically kick you out. I don't want to miss on any good loot. Why is it taking so long for my load menu to open? What's the problem? Love how Dragon is the best business man on the planet in Shadowrun. Never checked out the Shadowrun games. I'm definitely going to have to do that.
Certainly.
Run. Let's try over here.
Light, flame, and sound.
Ooh, there's a lot of people over here. Ooh. PLF, sorcerer, priestess, sorcerer, vanquisher, healer.
Yes. This.
Ooh. Ooh. Did he really just... I don't appreciate how he just confused a lot of us. Sheesh. This is not going well at all. What is Palagina doing?
That's not.
Mr. Rance. Well, this is should almost be dead anyway. Sheesh. Wait, why didn't we get this? How did we miss that? Oh, so the other side was a way to get around this easier without having to go through a bunch of fights. Nah, we're not avoiding fights here.
That's settled.
There we go. Man, you should be able to do PO2 as the cat. You aren't having a case of save file below to something messing with the game. Yeah, I would hope that true. Did not like returns, ironically. Returns is the very first one, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and take this rest. Oh, we're stuck on vessels. Oh, well, let's not do that. What are humans considered in this game? Is it wilder? I guess. They're not beasts, they're not primordial, they're not spirits, they're not vessels, so wilder is the only thing that makes sense in my eyes. Rest. Barreled has arrived at the stronghold. Is he waiting? All right. And I still got all this stuff to complete, right? Yep. So wait, can I finally talk to Durance? That would be nice. Questions of you. Know more about you. Durance is an odd name. No more than Watcher. And Durance is not a name. It is a title. What does your title mean?
Durance? We've shared the fire in a difficult road enough. Enough to know you're willing to suffer one and walk the other. Every god who has followers has a chapter solely for them, whether they know it or not. I know it.
Emery Bui, thanks for subscribing. Glad you've been enjoying the content. Welcome to the channel.
This chapter is not a thing of intent, but a flame that catches you. Everyone hears dogma and hymns and rituals in a different way. And whether they admit it or not, the fires that catch your senses all weave into a larger bonfire, which becomes your religion, your way of life, your road. Worshippers take what they want from the god, and then translate it. So it was with Durance. Was a man once, before he became the religion.
Was Durance a saint? Durance, a saint? Durance laughs. No, he worked for a living. He chuckles, slows, dies, then glances at you. An old soldier's joke, but it holds true for saints as well. No saint in his teachings. His disciples did much of the work, like soldiers heading out to war. Durance sneers. His teachings are impolitic now. He was composed of several trials and lessons woven together for the sake of faith. I am not familiar with the teachings of Durance.
There is no scripture, no poetry or wordplay open to interpretation. Its disciples are often not welcome, so they walk the road. A physical devotion. Many a metaphor has killed a man, when it would have been best to show him the truth of it, as ugly as it may seem. Before Durance, I put my faith in a great many such words, and encouraged others to do the same. All were weaker for it, unworthy of the flame.
Durance's face darkens. The devotions are from days when Margaret would not simply open her legs for any eager young initiate. Instead, she would turn away these faithful and ask them to wander the land to prove themselves devout. Based on the trials and judgments, then access to the god is granted. But it was up to each initiate to find the fire within them, and that fire, Durance frowns, that fire rarely burned when first they came to Margaret's door and sought acceptance. Begging is not what transforms one, but to say such now, the words are not welcomed as they should. Why is that?
The reasons are so many you would age and die listening to them all. But the teachings of Durance also included casting established clergy out who might need reminders of such devotion as well.
And no priest seeks to be removed from his comforts, whether food, bed, or whore's mouth on his cock. These trials that few can bear to let go once the comforts have taken them. He frowns, his eyes darkening. They see the trials of Durance as unnecessary for the continuation of the faith, inconvenient sometimes. They hold fast that there are other ways to spread Margaren's fire without leaving marks, as Durant's taught. What do you mean, leaving marks?
As the disciples walked the road, the trials of durance they suffered and dispensed were also ones of justice. All potential converts, even the faithful, were tested for weakness, and if their weakness broke them, so be it. If they survived, then they were transformed, made stronger as Margren seeks of all. Before I followed the way of durance, I did not test myself. I did not test others. Weakness and injustice thrived around me because I permitted it to be so.
Why would the clergy object to your dispensing justice?
Justice was not seen as our duty. Justice was a thing of Woodica.
Durance grunts, and the debates on that ran fierce and hot. If any god should hold the reins to the keeping of any other, as I said, an unpopular notion. Durance chuckles without humor. Might spread like a fire, can't have that. Yet, Durance reminded us that Woodica had once been burned by Margaret, and rightly so. If a goddess of justice can be burned to remind her of her place, well, then Margaret's clergy can remind others in a similar fashion. So you would punish others.
Transform them. If they broke, so be it. The greater the ruination of their flesh and soul, the greater their hope of salvation. It was the struggle that would strengthen them. One can have enough of words until you hunger for giving the red gift to some prattling fool, whether they serve Margaret or not. God and faith can drive a man to do much others would find difficult. Durance himself admitted as much. He did not relish the task, but he did not shy away from it.
And you follow this teaching?
All life does, whether by Margaret or not. The Saints' War made it necessary, and as distasteful as it may have seemed, well, now, every mark of Aethys, every weak soul that exposed our throat to the enemy, they would answer for every soldier and Margaret disciple that had fallen.
Damas, it is completely random which lines have voice acted and which do not. And honestly, it's pretty freaking irritating as someone trying to voice act and host the game. There have been several times where I started speaking lines and all of a sudden the voice comes in. So actually, it's not only unpredictable what lines have voice acting, but sometimes there are long, weird pauses before the voice acting starts for no reason. I don't understand at all. And Dagon, yeah, I absolutely agree. Durance, he likes nothing. Absolutely nothing. Except fire.
I
And
punished
whores,
others,
apparently.
yes. Men, women, children, and I did not spare the staff or any other instrument I felt would learn them and strengthen them. A purge not just of Aethys, but of frailty, a burning of dry fields, a sacrifice at the whore's altar. But who needs her words when one has her flame to show the way?
So this religious traveling chapter was put down? There were not many of us. Durance snarls. I am the last, and while there's no words of poetry to mar Durance's teachings, this little keep it alive if the fire dies. But that in itself is a test. The Saints' War gave Durance's a new boost of popularity for a time. A saint to match a saint, ruthlessness to match ruthlessness. Durance shrugs. The fiercest of us, well, we took the battle to Aethys and Red Ceres. It took strength to turn back the heresies, and I doubt many of Margaret's highest could have done the same. Then the teachings dwindled, died, as most flames do. Durance stares at his staff, but they still leave marks. I had other questions about you. He grunts. You don't dress like a priest, and your robes look as if they were touched by fire. Durance grunts. And you don't fit any matter of watcher I've ever seen. Does it make you one now? He frowns and holds up his hand. Don't answer that. Are those the same robes you wore at Halgot? Keep troubling me. Ah, god dog it. Oh well. Progress made. Yeah, that's another reason why I stopped playing Pillars of Eternity. Yeah, it's irritating. I won't lie. It's irritating. But we do what we must. We do what we must. Okay. Boom. Rimergon, open your way to us. As you near the platform, the temperature drops sharply. Something saps every last bit of warmth from the air, leaving the breath of your lungs cold as it escapes your lips. You see a doorway filled in with glowing ice. Silhouetted against it is an elven man, his arms outstretched.
What have you done? This useless slaughter, Please, just let me finish what we came here to do.
Rimergan sent me to close the frost-hewn breach. His red eyes widen. You are a man of compassion. Would you trap us here another 100 lifetimes? He shakes his head, awareness creeping back into his eyes. We can't continue like this. We've got to find a way into the White Void. The White Void.
Rimergon's domain. A place where all things are mingled like snowflakes in a blizzard. It's a vortex of such chaos that even the beast of winter himself could not calculate the trajectory of the infinite particles of essence there. As souls are broken down over successive reincarnations, they become part of the White Void. It is a place where all things find perfect unity and freedom. The frost-hewn breach is a weak spot in the barrier between us and the White Void. Thin ice on a frozen lake. We've come from the White that wends to find it.
And you want to open the breach?
So that we can die. Permanently. We've lived more lifetimes than any mortal should. We've been faithful followers of Rimergon since our earliest incarnations. He's the god of entropy. Why would he force us to be reborn again and again? But if anything could pass through the frost-hewn breach, it would enter directly into the White Void. This death is overdue for us. We just have to find a way through.
Tell me about you and your people.
We call ourselves Glomfellan. Most here know us as Pale Elves. We hail from the White that wends, a glacial continent at the southernmost edge of Aora. We received a watcher in our lands a season ago and paid her to tell us of the origins of our souls. We wanted to contemplate the essence that fills us and consider how Rimergond might shatter and sow us once our days are spent. We were not prepared for what we learned.
I don't think the Watcher was either. She explained that every one of us had been reborn whole into the clan over centuries, generations spanning back to the first days our people set foot on the White that wins. We had all been cut off from the mercy our God promises. That night, we began awakening, experiencing fragments of our past lives, old hatreds, dead passions, tangled memories. It illuminated nothing but the realization that we're doomed to live 1,000 pointless lives, never closer to Rimergon's salvation. Elof's lips are pressed together, thin and bloodless. A dark expression hangs in his eyes. We want to die. We want Rimergon to scatter our souls into the ether, that their million fragments might join the White Void. He looks at his hands and the single frostbitten finger. My magic hasn't found a way through the frost-hewn breach yet, but there must be one. You can't oppose the will of a god. He laughs, but his eyes do not. You think that because Rimergon spoke to you in a dream, you can march in here and tell us about his will? Or that your elegant words will direct our faith? We've followed him and suffered by him for almost as long as this temple has stood. Now we seek the very end that he promises. Do not lecture me about my duties to my God. Attack. Fine. You want to die? I can help you with that. It is what it is. All right. Ba-boom. Ba-boom. Boom.
Yes?
Lady, why are you standing around? Why is everybody standing around? Here. Excellent. No, not you. That dog it. You. There we go. Is one of them still alive? Ooh. How long are you confused? Charmed. 2 seconds. Who are you? Grieving mother. Come over here. There we go. Let's get you frozen up, Playboy. Why is Pallegina once again not doing anything? What is your problem, sister? No. Aggressive. 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 What are you doing? Aggressive. Crowd control. Per arrest. Do something. There we go. Now you. And there we go. We're good. Back to the void they go. Or to the wheel, rather. Yeah, it's extremely jolting. Yeah, I agree, 3. It definitely took some getting used to. The ice is as hard and solid as stone.
Certainly.
I bet future voice actor contracts will include AI modeling rights, so if the writing changes after a certain point, they just use that to fill in gaps instead of having silence or a callback. Possible. Makes me really appreciate the effort that Disco Elysium went to for the whole thing to be voice acted, including narration. Yeah, that was definitely a strong part of the renewed version they just did. Yeah, they really went above and beyond to go back at it all in. I absolutely agree. Feel like this guy flips a coin to decide voice acted or not. Voice acted each time you click continue. Like, if you waste time and money doing voice acting, will that hurt your game overall? I mean, I can't think of a time where I felt like the voice acting was a waste. You know, like, I feel like most of the time, I feel like voice acting improves the game as opposed to you just having silence. Like, let's be honest, most gamers today, even PC gamers, aren't big fans of having to read walls of text. Like, those games just aren't going to do as well. People prefer having voices. It don't bother me either way. Like, it doesn't bother me when I'm doing content or when I'm doing something live like this, because I feel like it's part of like hosting and performing. But if I'm just sitting by myself and having to just read through walls of text, it's not as entertaining as having a really cool voice acting out that dialogue for me. It's worse if you have multiple odds for conversations like this. Yep. I can't wait until I see the updated Blood Mage for Avad. I assume they are going to keep and update Blood Magic. We'll see. Just want it to be somewhat consistent. Has a mix too, but they make it work because the conversations either all voice acted or not voice acted at all. When you mix it up in the same convo, it feels super weird. Yep. It's just voice acting is super expensive. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I want to get in the market. I feel like, hey, why not scrape off some of that dough my way? But yeah, that's also why I take the time to highlight games that don't have full voice acting like this, like Wrath of the Righteous. You know, like I don't try to limit myself to games just with voice acting, because I understand there are some developers who are making great games and writing great stories who just don't have the money for voice acting. And I'm hoping that'll be my end as well. I feel like I'll do voice acting cheaper for, you know, indie developers who probably wouldn't be able to have voice acting in their games. I'll be like, yo, you can throw me in there. I just want the name. You know, I want the exposure and the recognition. I'm not as much worried about the money. So we'll see. We'll see what next year brings. The gleaming wall of ice seems to leach all the warmth from the room. The cold sears your skin, and you draw back before touching it. What? That's it? Where's that freaking key thingamajig? Here we go. It hasn't melted since you received it. Well, isn't that nice? And I can't pick it up in any sort of way either. Okay. Oh, this little thing here. A pedestal of black ice rises from the floor. Long, finger-like ice crystals, as hard and clear as diamonds, surround and pierce the altar. A hole has been gouged out of the middle of the altar. Though it can't be more than a few inches deep, it sucks at the air around you. Plug the hole with Rimergon's shard. The shard fits perfectly. As it settles into place, the cold around the altar dissipates. Similarly, the portal before you seems to thicken, and the mysterious seepage tapers off. And there we go. And we're out of here. Let's go. People always pay attention to a character that speaks rather than one that is using text to talk. Yep. You really need to do the voice acting after the writing is done, but that would usually go all the way into release. Makes sense. It's not even just the voice actor charging them a lot. It's 100,000 lines they read that adds up to so much. Suddenly, 20% or more of the budget is already gone. Underrail, not Undertale, is another great CRPG with zero voice acting. I think part of it is that even if you don't have voice acting, you should write as if you will need to pay someone to say it. I keep hearing about Underrail, so it's a game that I definitely plan to play. I don't know if I'm going to be playing it live or if that's a game that I'm going to end up playing on my own. The Orlin stands under the open sky, taking deep breaths of fresh air. Feels like I've been reborn. She thumps you on the shoulder. Come by the mall sometime. The rest of the Thanes will want to meet the cunning Estromor who freed me. Okie dokie. All right. Went through all that. Haven't went to the Barrow Islands, but I'm not ready to do that yet. This is also on Pass, so that's going out. Elms Reach District, Heartstrong. Okay, so I guess I go here, and then we'll go to the Hylian Shrine.
Eyes open.
Eyes open. Tribeswoman, tribeswoman. Ooh. Fang First Blade.
Nice. Subtle.
Ooh. A dank, sultry draft issues from the cave within the beast's head. Condensation drips from the stone teeth. When writers get free reign to just dump a wall of text on you, they can get lazy and not keep things concise. Yep. I can only voice act certain characters, but I feel like you have the talent to do many different roles. Thank you, San. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm going to try. Underrail is long. Fair warning. Longer than Pillars of Eternity? Hey, this is a 100-hour plus game. How long is Underrail? The viscous liquid gives off a sharp, metallic odor.
Slowly now.
Arensi has no right to defend that cowering cat in the back of the maw.
Then track her down and tell her yourself.
That's a familiar voice. Not even longer than Pillars, much longer than Pillars. Really? For a game that's all text? Yeesh. All right, that might be rough. We'll see how this goes.
Kareth, this is no place for sightseeing, even for you. The beasts of Galawain's Maw are dangerous, and now more than ever.
What's wrong with the beast?
They won't fight.
What's wrong with that?
It is not Galawain's way, and it is not the way of the Maw.
The Maw's always been home to one great predator. Every so often, a challenger comes along, and the two battle for territory. But Sol remains in her den, and Ornis can't confront her there. Now, two mighty predators and their kin hunt from the same stock. It's thinning the herds, and it's thinning patience around here, too. He resumes his pacing, and this waiting is not the deliberate, watchful waiting of a hunter lying in ambush. It's stagnation, tedium, hoping for something to happen. He clenches his hands into his fist, but I'm powerless to act. One half of the fangs will cry favoritism if I try to drag the lioness out myself. Why would you favor Saul or Ornus? He frowns. I see both sides. Saul's cunning is unmatched, but Ornus is the mightier of the two. Both embody traits praised by Galawain. I want to know about the two predators. There's never been a more cunning hunter than Saul, but some say she's losing her edge. Ornus, on the other hand, is all edge, and many of our number think he's the rightful successor. His fingers drum a restless rhythm on his thigh. Blood simmering. It's going to boil over if little doesn't spill soon. But I 100% think it's to be fair. Me too. Like, you see, I'm doing everything here. So unless I dislike the game, it would be the same way there. Why the game is all text, but it's really more like a BG1 game. Almost closer to a gold box. What's a gold box? I don't know what that is. Guess I should say Fallout, not BG1. I never played Fallout 1 and 2, but I did play 3 and 4 in New Vegas. But from my understanding, they're very, very different, right? Underrail, all text, much on pillars. Psh, Ayatollah, baby, 22 years. Granted, it's an MMORPG, and that's always hard to shut down story-wise. Yeah, that game might continue on forever. Underrail definitely benefits from being played without taking big breaks. Every time I go back to the game, I have no idea what is going on because the quest log is so vague. Interesting, so you really need to play it all the way straight through. I received a vision from Galawain about these beasts. His tired eyes go wide. From the clever hound himself, he looks you up and down. If you truly have Galawain's blessing, I won't stand in your way. But I can believe he sees a forceful champion in you. He gives you a heavy iron key. We don't normally permit outsiders to venture into the mall, but you understand you do so at your own risk, and Saul's lions are likely to attack intruders on sight. Still, perhaps you can coax her into fighting the bear. Do whatever you can to end this stalemate. Let's talk about something else. Such as, this is Galawain's Maw?
Yes, a den of beasts sacred to the Lord of the Hunt himself. Historically, the greatest predator of Air Glanfoth has claimed the back of the maw as its lair. Lately, however, there's been some dispute as to who should occupy that position. And it's leading to discord among our hunters.
Something else? I prefer action to talk, but I'll answer your questions the best I can. Gold box games are where those action D&D games that came out in the late 80s. Oh, okay, cool, thank you. Even if you don't finish the game, playing the beginning of the game is really enjoyable just for the world building. Oh, okay, so Damas, you played the game? Oh, right, you're the one who mentioned that the quest log is so vague. So do you actually like the game, though? Like, it's big and it's long, but do you, like, what's the quest structure like? Do you feel like it was actually an enjoyable experience going through it? Or is it just a big, long slog? I don't think I could do that. I understand. Underrail is kind of like a hardcore player, hostile version of Skyrim in a way. Interesting. Interesting. That does sound interesting. Tell me about yourself. I'm the leader of the Fangs. We're an order of hunters and warriors devoted to Galawain, and we see that the places of the builders remain pure. Not truly a tribe, but we do gather and argue like one. Our members come from all of the tribes, but most of us were born Three-Tusked Elgar, Fisher Crane, and Keepers of the Stone, naturally. Where could I find Saul? Straight at the back of the mall. He points down the halls on either side of him. You could get through either way, but mind where your feet step. The mall is a dangerous place, and Saul's pride and our advocates are on the alert. Where is Ornus? Good question. Bear's out hunting right now, but he'll return soon. He's never gone for long. Goodbye. Okay.
My thoughts will be as silent as my feet.
Both pins pierce the hide map at a handful of locations along the Glanthothan side of the Bale River. All right, you were talking to someone else.
Keeping an eye out.
The stones at the end of the chasm are slick and beaded with moisture. The remains of a broken bridge, long collapsed, lead to a deep chasm. The other side of the bridge pierces through the mist at the far end of the chasm, hanging precariously over the steep fall. Examine the area. The broken stones of the bridge, weathered after centuries of disrepair, are scattered along the edge and side of the chasm. A thin mist rises from below. The stones are coated with slick green moss, making them impossible to grip safely. The wooden beams lodged between the stones on either side of the bridge seem sturdy enough to support your weight, however. The remains of a broken bridge, long collapse, lead to a deep chasm. Toss your rope and grappling hook. We're going to wait on that. And then.
Come to see the great Oernos, Estremor? He's out for a hunt, but he'll be back. Unlike that lioness, he doesn't stay cooped up in here for long.
Why can't Ornus go and fight the lioness?
Because she holes up at the back of the maw, surrounded by her pride and the natural hazards of this place. It's not the proper way to meet a challenger. She's got to come out and face Oernos to keep her claim. Anyway, her prime is past. Putting that old beast down would be a mercy at this point.
What are you doing here?
We wait for the big confrontation, but the wait grows exhausting. While Sul hides in the back of the maw, Oernos is denied his victory, and we're all denied the champion we deserve.
It's really good, but it's niche. It's made for people who like complicated games that give you a lot of options to do stuff, but don't mind the game saying you wandered into the wrong area. Hope you save. Oh, yeah. As you see, I save constantly, so that's not a problem. I really like it so far. It doesn't feel like a slog, but it rewards paying attention. If you try to play it to zone out and start trying to bulldoze your way through, you could soft lock yourself. Ooh, or get robbed by that level of million Super Saiyan guy because you talked to the wrong person. Yikes. Okay, interesting. His calloused thumb makes a scraping noise against the blade of his axe. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I didn't read that. I could take care of Soul. I hate to spoil the tradition of a big showdown, but if you retreat from her fight, then there's no point in waiting. Kill her, and that'll be proof enough that she's not a fit champion. Goodbye. Okay. May the blood freeze their veins. That's an actual person. The Gorsan offers modest cushioning. It shifts and sighs underfoot.
Estremor?
An Orlan woman stands ankle deep in the sand, sharpening a spearhead. You must be Bithuel's new Estremor. Truth. When I heard she'd let another in, I almost went to the Pass of the Six myself to share words. She points the flint spearhead at you. I found Alwa. A breath catches in her throat. Your own eyes have seen her. I freed her from noon frost. She's just enjoying the fresh air before she returns. She releases a gasp of relief. You accomplished a great service, for the Fangs and for me. Lara takes another deep breath. I was wrong about you, Estremor. I did not see you truly. Please, accept the gift worthy of your honor and skill. Alwa waves at you, a broad smile on her thin mouth. Her fur is sleek and glossy now, and there's a mischievous twinkle in her eye. Good to see you again. How are you? Whole and well, thanks to you. Not that Lara's given me a chance to rest. She eyes another Orlan woman. My sister makes me earn my keep around here. You spent long enough stuck in that frozen cell, didn't you? Your limbs need exercise now. Teach me what you know. She laughs. As long as you can keep up. Slandered was granted Blooded Hunter. What's Blooded Hunter? Blooded Hunter. +1 damage reduction, +1 stealth. This secret knowledge of the Fangs allows you to more easily stalk prey and resist damage if the quarry discovers your presence. Okay. The playthrough where I got the furthest that happened to me in Chapter 1. I haven't gotten past Chapter 1 because I keep needing to restart. Damn. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 confused the absolute fluff out of me, as well as Neverwinter Nights. That said, the Gold Box games are so much worse for the headaches. Yeah, GoBots games tend to go kill the dragon. Okay, where and how? I don't know. Figure it out. Interesting. Once for soft lock, the other times because of either wanting to tune my build differently or coming back after a while and forgetting the details of my quest. I'm going to bed. Ball Space, take care. Glad you're able to make the stream. Have a good night, man. Should have kept the backup save, so it really is my fault. All right, I got to hit to have a good night. Take care, Saiyan. Have a good night. Glad you're able to make the stream. Interesting. Yeah, I definitely plan to play Underrail. There's a couple other games I plan to go through first, but that is on my list. All right. For some reason, they don't want you to go through that door. So we'll go here. Every other edition of 5e gave me an aneurysm. Gets worse the earlier back you grow. Whoa. Lion clanswoman. Lion. All right, whatever. Boom.
Your thoughts must flow deep.
This is not good. Excellent. Boom, 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 do, do, do. Well, that was not a good way to kick that off, but such is life. We'll deal with it.
And sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Every other edition besides the gaming. Oh, it gets worse the earlier you go back. Wait, where is this going? Old Song District. Okay, so it's a way out. All right. It's fighting words. But yeah, did not like Thaco, even though it's like tacos. Yeah. Honestly, a lot of the videos that I've made about Pathfinder regarding like breaking down systems and things of that nature, I'm not going to be doing it for the Baldur's Gate system because I just don't like the system as much. I got problems with the Pathfinder system, but for all its flaws, I do enjoy trying to figure it out. I don't enjoy trying to figure Baldur's Gate stuff out. Like, that's also why I have no interest in trying to pump up the difficulty. Like people keep saying, if you're going to play it, you should use the mod that raise the difficulty more and makes the experience more challenging. I don't want it to be more challenging because I don't like the system and I'm not interested in trying to figure out more about the system. Like I play it for the story, for the party members, for the characters, stuff like that. Sooner or later, we will do Wasteland 2. When we do Wasteland 2, I'm going to play that on Supreme Jerk, the hardest difficulty, because I actually like the combat system in that game and figuring out the builds and trying to weave my way through the mechanics. The stones at the edge of the chasm are slick and beaded with moisture. Mass Effect is another one where I actually enjoy playing it on Insanity because I really get a lot of enjoyment out of the way combat is set up.
Something over.
Ah, crap. Oh, well. Oh, well, and the trap is set. Whatever. Boom, boom, boom. Android 3. You can have fun making builds and thinking about it outside of playing. Awesome. Bye-bye. Nice. I didn't realize how quickly that power comes out. That was actually really nice. Damn. That scream sounded brutal. She did not appreciate that.
Flame and sound.
She did not appreciate the way that went down at all. Princess of Wolves, what's going on? How are you? Glad you're able to make the stream. I really wish more people would try out RPGs outside of D&D. There's some great stuff out there. Yep.
And the fire shows me something new.
Too many people limiting themselves. Guess I'm more. I can do this as kind of why I play. People said putting a 12-ton cannon on a 30-ton mech wouldn't work. These people were not trying hard enough. Whoa. What? Are you kidding me? Bro. He's so annoying right now. Oh, it goes to the same area no matter what. Interesting.
Hey.
Come on. Oh, I didn't realize it'd be a freaking death trap, but okay. Whatever. I'm not going to trip about it. Monster House and Monster of the Week is better than D&D. Hey, why you say WTF, princess? That scream scared the fuck out of me. Oh, my bad. So I was absurd. My favorite tabletop RPG system is actually the 40K ones, Dark Heresy, Rogue Trader. I could GM a session of those with zero warning, no problem. So then are you really excited about the Rogue Trader game coming out? Wow. That was so dumb. You know what? We're going to go ahead and take a rest. Because I do not want to have... Ooh, yep, quest finished. I do not want to end up in a situation... Oh, I could have changed it to Beast, actually. I think about it. Considering all the ones we're going up against. But whatever. Why can't you DM 3? Seems like you talk about that stuff all the time. Boom, boom. An elven woman intercepts you as you advance into the lair. Behind her is the largest lioness you've ever seen, a sleek beast with fangs as long as carving knives. The woman blocks your path to the lioness, seemingly at ease around the monster. This is Soul's domain, Estremor. She shall not leave it for Orinus or any other challenger. Why does Soul refuse to face Orinus? Orinus is welcome to confront her here, as many challengers have in the past. What the bear supporter want is for Soul to leave her lair and fight in the open, where he has an advantage. But why should she? If Soul has an advantage here, it's one she's earned. Would anyone expect to blunt the bear's claws in order to even the odds? The Lord of the Hunt gives unique advantages to each. It's not for us to decide that some of them are worth less than others. Lioness gives a low growl and Arinci smiles. Also, Soul has recently given birth to cubs. They're small now, but when they grow, they'll be mightier than either Soul or Orinus. But if Soul is killed in combat, the bear will tear her young to shreds. Such is the way of the wild. Her legacy is too valuable to perish this way. If we truly want the mightiest of beasts in the maw, then her cubs must grow to maturity. What are you doing here with Soul? She looks at the lion with something between fondness and admiration, defending the rightful champion of Galawain's maw. Orinus' supporters would have her ousted in favor of a bear that isn't strong enough to come and seize this territory on his own. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. She's been here for a while. She's established his domain. He's got to prove he's strong enough to be able to take it from her. Why should she have to come where things are comfortable for him? That don't make no sense. I'll deal with Orinus. Good. That bear isn't nearly as strong as Enden and his followers think. If someone were to prove just how easily that bear could be killed, that would cure every one of their delusions about it. Hmm. What's this?
To whispers and shadows.
Tufts of tawny fur and crushed grasses carpet a small hollow in the back of the cavern. The thorny vines are twisted together, forming a wall. They quiver and begin to part as you draw near, pass through the vines. As you walk forward, the vines shift and the thorns retract, providing you with a clear and safe pathway through. You emerge unscathed on the other side.
Now this I haven't seen before.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on. Dude, so annoying. All right. Where am I? Was this an area that I've been through? Maybe. Here we go. All right.
They shall see nothing while I see much.
I'm wondering how they do player classes in Rogue Trader, the Owlcat Rogue Trader, not the tabletop. I'm very chaotic. My stories are all over the place. Never played tabletop games. So excited. So it's better off for me to have one character focus on instead of literally everyone else. That's true. You do come in with wild, crazy stories about what you're doing like all the time, and there's like no connection. Like I promised you the other day, I was straight myself and ranting about what exactly makes 40K such a good setting for RPGs until we get closer to Rogue Trader coming out. Don't worry, like I promised, we'll be doing more videos out on it, especially when the beta comes out. Yeah, I did side with the Lioness. Ironically, I don't even play the regular 40K war game. I do play the smaller squad game, Kill Team, though. Why don't you play the regular games? How do I do player classes in Rogue Trader? Yeah, from my understanding, I'm not familiar with the tabletop, but from what people have said, the way Wrath of the Righteous handles classes and especially mythic paths is a lot different from the tabletop. So it'll be interesting how much customization they end up doing. I don't need to sneak around. Oh, we got to talk first? Yeah, hey. I'll let Eden do the talking. Enden sighs, spinning his axe by the shaft. Too much waiting. Something's got to happen soon. Ornus isn't the rightful champion.
If you stand on the side of that toothless old bag of bones, then you stand in my way.
He hefts his axe. The bear growls. Attack. Try me. Well. They all decided to go crazy, okay?
How bad?
Good Lord. That's just really not cool. Why are you using those little small powers?
Hey.
Yeah, you can't go no further. All right. Let's get some crowd control going. You. Anybody about to die? Sure, let's try that. You. Let's also go that way. Boom, boom, boom. Come on, y'all. got a lot of statuses on them. Look at that. And you're next. Boom, boom, boom. Nah, what you doing all that running for, son? Nah, it's over for that. Come on, get up out of there. Get up, get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Excellent. Honestly, never played tabletop Warhammer either. Just bought way too many books. Do you have any idea how expensive it is? Very expensive. Wow. Interesting. Too expensive. I want every model I have to be personalized, so it would take me way too long to do a small army. Interesting. I'm someone who has Werewolf the Apocalypse books. It starts at about 20-25 bucks a squad, and you need what, 4 to 5 squad for a small game? Plus paints. Wow, yeah, that's no joke. Not to mention transporting a full 40K army to a store to play is a pain. Kill team, you only have a few dudes, so I could just go buy bike. TTRPG games is probably the most expensive hobby out there. One of the most, at least. Interesting. I didn't realize it was that bad.
Still looking around? Watch your step. Tempers run hot around here, and not just among the animals.
I dealt with the situation between Sol and Orinus, and Sol remains the champion. Many of the Fangs are gladdened to see us stay. Perhaps it's Gallowayne's way of telling us to remember our roots and prize our cunning as hunters. Thank you for your help, Karad. May Gallowayne guide your path. Take this with our thanks. He seems to suddenly remember something. You might visit Tyr or Ivron to pray to the Lord of the Hunt. He sometimes grants special favors for those who prove themselves. All right. And hey, now we can just go ahead and... Oh, no. Only the table, huh?
Be discreet.
Not everything. We still got one person here who hasn't leveled up. Hireling pay. Nothing in life is free. All right. Nothing else we can do here. Actually, you know what? I want to check and be sure. Did they give us anything else? Hopefully we don't walk over any traps on the way. GW is really bad at the prices, although to be fair, they are good models. I've dealt with Orinus. You chose well. Sol's cubs will grow up to be quick and fierce, and so will the Fangs if we follow their example. She looks at the sleek lioness. Thank you for resolving this, Esther Moore. All right, that's all. Fine. All right. 2 God quests finished. No, it was 3, right? Wait, so we dealt with the sacrifice dude, we dealt with Rimmergan, and we dealt with and we just dealt with Gallowayne, so we still have Halia to deal with, though. Okay. Uh-oh. No. Okay. It was kind of weird the way it cut out. It didn't seem right. And then you have scamming DMs. They want you to pay for your sessions and then kick you out without explaining what you did wrong, trying to mediate. So you spend $50 on a story that you are never going to see to fruition. Ooh, that can happen? That is definitely not cool. A dank, sultry draft issues from the cave within the beast's head. Oh, I already read that. Okay, cool. Oh, gotta go there to get that. There we go. Okay, now... Yep, Hylia Shrine. Oof. Rough. Protector. Mind your path, Sister Moore. The guided compass trusts easily, but I don't. How does one get to the burial aisle? The guard frowns, studying you for a moment. It's not customary for Esther Morin to seek it. They have little understanding of its significance. But for those who would pay respect, Dorval will ferry them across. He embarks out of the docks in Old Song. I'm looking for the Temple of Hylia. It lies beyond the Northfield and up a mountain, but the faithful have fled, and now the priests Kasfoth and Onwin linger in old song. Have you heard of a place called the Golden Grove? By the river in the south of Elm's Reach. It's a clearing surrounded by trees. Arona and her Ovates gather there. Tell me about the ethnic knoll. They're the Druids of Blood Sands, a cave northwest of the great trees of Elm's Reach. Normally, I would advise an Estermore not to walk that path. Walk away. Nice. Got a quest update out of that. The stone is pitted with the marks of ancient chisels and furred with moss. Kasfath and on. Solid iron bars block a dark passage. They don't budge, and there doesn't appear to be any mechanism for raising them from the outside.
We can't stay down here. Someone must go to the nest eventually.
The idea of paying someone to GM does not sit right with me at all. I just formed a group with people from uni, and people put their hand up to have a go at GMing when they feel like it. Yeah, that happened to me twice. Neither DM would explain what the fuck I did wrong to upset the other players. It's not like I would have said, nah, fuck you guys, I'll keep doing what I'm doing. That's crazy. So they didn't even, there was no real discussion about it. That's wild. Group of stayed together long after we all finished university and got jobs. We even all end up moving to the same city together. I have to know what the fuck I did. Much harder to find a solid group in person in Nebraska. Two wood elves, a man and a woman, wear colorful robes embroidered with a matching emblem, a winged egg. Apart from their clothes, they couldn't be more different. She folds her arms and continually scowls at the broken walls around them. He, on the other hand, mutters prayers, his shade-dappled face as tranquil as a cloudless sky.
Just how are we supposed to worship the Sky Mother from among the weeds, This is a disgrace.
Calm yourself. We should be grateful that she protected us from the winged terror. Besides, even here we have a visitor.
What's this winged terror you speak of?
A dragon. One that has taken up residence in the Nest, the true temple of Helia, and slain many of her faithful. And one which Anuin has been in favor of killing from the beginning.
But no, you advised caution. Now word spread that the dragon ate a few of our followers, and anyone willing to slay it wants an Anumfoth's ransom for the job.
I told you a larger party wouldn't stand a chance. By the time the first half reached the top of the mountain, the second half would still be stuck in the pass. They'd be burned alive. Contrary to Anuin's suggestion, I am in favor of sending someone to kill the dragon. But I suggest a smaller party, and one willing to seek Helia's blessing.
He gives you a curious look. Let me ask you about something else. Go ahead, then. Language is also sacred to our goddess. Something else you wish to speak of? This is the Temple of Hylia?
You hear this, Wag?
Relax, Anuin. I'm sure he meant nothing by it. Forgive my consort. She's been rather excitable of late. This is not, as you seem to recognize, our actual temple. It's merely a shrine we've set up after the business with the dragon.
I'd like to know more about Hylia.
Why, she's the goddess of song, art, the sky, and maternity. She's gentle and brilliant, speaking to her followers in dreams, inspiration, and birdsong. It is said that she wears a cloak adorned with a feather from every bird known to kith or wilder, and that she manifests in the flocks themselves.
Aye, and in the screams of childbearing, which I can assure you is not so beauteous a thing.
This is true, which is why midwives are widely considered clergy of Helia, as are many artists and poets. In any case, those of us who follow her feel closest to her splendor in a place where we might share light, song, and a view of the blessed sky.
Actually, I received a vision from Hylia. She bid me speak with you about the menace that settled over her temple.
A vision from the goddess herself? What a rare and fortunate blessing.
Onwin squints at you. Your vision did reveal that the menace is a dragon, yes? She steps back and gives you a long look. To be honest, I expected the Sky Mother would summon a whole flock of warriors to fight this monster. I fear so few will be like sparrows attacking an eagle. But if Hylia has tasked you, then who are we to doubt? Onwin is right, however. You must prepare yourself for a powerful and crafty foe. The nest and the dragon are perched atop a mountain beyond the Northfield. He points northward along the path. Follow this trail into the wilderness and then look for another path carved into the cliffs. May the Sky Mother's blessing aid you. Goodbye. Okay. The nest above the clouds.
And what does the flame reveal?
And what does the flame reveal? Okay. Northfield, then Temple. Okay, cool. So I think Northfield is where we need to bring Ranger Chick. So let's go back. And a quest just got done, so we'll pick up. We'll empty out our chest, and I think we're running low on sleep supplies, so we'll pick up a couple more of those. We'll switch out for the Ranger Chick. We'll sleep, then head back to Northfield.
I must say, I'm impressed.
I must say, I am impressed. Boom, boom. They'll probably do is let the player pick a regular class and merge the level up options from the Rogue Trader class and the one you picked. That would make sense. It's like they even considered the tug was an option. I see you're still upset about this, Threed. How long ago did this happen? Guess that fits like you have to earn it or decide not to. What's that? Iffin's Cradle. Skeins of magical energy, entangle enemies in the area effect, binding up beneficial effects for the duration. Fascinating. All right. You.
Welcome.
Show me your wares. Do you have sleep supplies? You do. There we go. Trade for that. Ba-ba. Fire's always an option, just saying. And
Well done.
well done.
Formidable fortress in the old style. We don't build them like this anymore. you know?
Gores.
Not by this.
Boom. Let's get hers up. What was I focusing on with you? I guess we'll do survival with you too. Vicious companion, plus 15 damage. Yeah, sure. Survival, next. Arrow, vicious aim. Yeah, sure, whatever. Swift and steady, plus 20% of attack speed. Ooh. Modify swift aim. -7, and the range becomes better, able to shoot quickly, reducing the accuracy penalty of swift aim. Okay. Plus 15 deflection against range. While engaged by the ranged animal, stunning the enemy when it earns a hit or a critical hit. Cool. Accurate wounding shot, resilient companion. Yeah, let's do that because I remember the dog getting hit up. All right, and let's also go ahead and get some rest. And I guess we'll go back to getting mechanics because this dude is still not able to get all the traps. Whoa. Sagani saunters over to you, stretching her legs. She holds a pouch of deer jerky in one hand, and she offers it as she takes a seat across from you. Itumak looks on hungrily. Long day. She bends one arm around behind her head, reaching until you hear a pop. Just wanted to see how you're holding up. You seem to have a lot of long nights. The leaden key hasn't assassinated me yet, so I guess I can't complain. A bright side to everything, isn't there? The first one happened at the beginning of the year. I had money issues, true, but I always managed to pay it off. Second one's in the middle of the year. I demand a refund for the second one, as the second one was through a professional site. Oh, wow. The first one we met on Discord, and then I got blocked, so I couldn't talk about refunds. That's crazy. Wow, so those are the people that are involved in the regular game? Yeah, okay, that's not cool at all. Not cool at all. You can have Zemos in the party, and they all get specific classes, so they can't be rogue traders themselves, though. So party members for sure, not PCs. Item, yeah, I know it's a throne. Games that could be my quest to get a bolter. I'm really hopeful that they will include some of the advanced class types for the tabletop, basically prestige classes. She folds her arm over her knees. Look, it's been a while since I had a hunting party, but we're in this together now. And even if we're hunting for different things, we're still hunting together. She takes a hunk of dried meat from her pouch and bites a long strip from it. Idelmok licks his lips and she tosses him the rest. I still don't understand exactly what's happening to you, but I'll help you find Theos, same as you're doing for me. Oh. Okay. Let's go over here. Ooh. And let's also see if Durance is up for chat again. Saying that. Had questions. More about you. That staff of yours, can you tell me about it? Durance glances at his staff, then at you, and gives a crooked smile. Can't take your eyes from it, he chuckles. Durance himself favored such knotted twist of heat. It was said, no shame in it. Why are those symbols carved on your staff?
Carved? This staff is a history. Acts leave their mark. Some symbols fall into the ash, others blaze brighter.
What causes one to fade and another to rise?
Memory, meaning. It's same as the memories in your head, perhaps more trustworthy. Random acts, things done with instinct. They may make lines burning briefly through the wood. Acts devised, planned, that stay with you. Symbols form and tell the story. It's like all memories, except the staff burns it true. When a thought's close, you see it clearer, brighter. Once you forget, they get buried. But like rings in wood, the etchings remain. Keeps me grounded. Also, it's a solid walking stick.
How's it only watchers can see the symbols? They are energies of the spirit, a channel for one's faith. He frowns. It's hard to say. There was a time when they glowed brighter, but now they are an aid in my work. Because the staff's markings stand out to a watcher, well, they sometimes identify themselves. He frowns. And sometimes they're blinded to the staff as well. A gift of Mogren, perhaps, to cloak itself from sight when one isn't looking for it. I don't see Mogren's symbol on your staff. Durance frowns. It is there, but marked different. I followed Durance, and in his teachings there's but a single flame, a simpler aspect. His frown deepens, and he taps the edge of the staff. Durance would meditate by focusing on a single flame and attach meaning to it. It was something to center the spirit for what was to come. For what was to come. The flame is intended to symbolize bringing punishment to another, and it is inscribed above the symbol of one being punished, marking them as always touched by Mogren. I want to ask about something else.
I suspect the answers will seed more questions.
All right, we should be almost finished with all this.
It was a weapon of Deerwood's people.
In the vision I saw of your staff, you looked
It saved
indistinct,
Deerwood.
blurred. Durance frowns, glances at you with a sharp look. Perhaps you were blinded by the Godhammer's light, Watcher. He snorts. I might feel half a man at times, but even that is twice that of most others.
If you fear for my spirit, your fears are baseless. The Godhammer, seeing its light, only fueled my anger and made me stronger, made me re-examine the teachings of Mogren, put them in a new light.
Is that when you sought the teachings of Durance?
It seemed time to find the teachings I had lost, and to carry out the goddess's will in the purges. Aethys's faith still remained.
I have other questions about the God Hammer. Durance frowns. What of it? I want to ask about something different.
The cost of troubling me seems to worry you little.
I want to ask about the reason in its history. No, something else.
I suspect the
Tell me
answer
about
is
Margaret. For one of Margaret's worshippers, you seem to hold little value in her.
Oh, has my talk raised more questions? A true surprise. Do I value her? Why, I hold value in all whores. For a whore, their motivations are honest.
And if one such as I, who truly seeks to embody trials and purification, one such as I who bask in war, why, if I do not even dare to take that fight to the principles of a goddess and her chosen fires, he grins, I would bleed to death on my own hypocrisy. So you are in conflict with Margaret? Men fight, women fight, he chuckles. Sometimes even with the same sex. If one isn't fighting, struggling, punishing, then what good are you? He raps his staff to the ground. It's uncomfortable enough that this rod isn't drawing blood and bruise right now. Durance gives a strange smile. But now, fighting a goddess, that's something one would be hard-pressed to call a true fight. But that's what makes one among the faithful, taking on those odds. But if you're in opposition to her, how do you draw power from her? Durant shrugs, but his face twists in a cruel sneer. Aeth is burned, yet his worshippers still suck power from his smoldering cock, beyond the spear twist of their lies and blasphemies. If I give my goddess offense, then I serve her according to her aspects. And it may be that in giving such offense and receiving it, I may find deeper lessons. Durance did much the same in his travels. It was in defiance, the feeling that there is some other truth that is not found solely in staring into flames. I want to ask something else about Margaret. Enough about Margaret. I got other questions.
I suspect the answers will seed more questions.
Tell me about the God Hammer. You're serving a whale. Okay. Getting closer. Getting closer, I believe, but not quite there yet. Hey, can we... You know what? I'm actually going to go back to the store real quick. I'm sorry.
Certainly.
You know what? No, I'm not. We're going to continue for it. There are a couple of people who I feel like I need to respect, but I could do that later. All right. North Weald, here we come. Boom, 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 boom. After several attempts, Lord Sidrock's rivals gave up on raiding his vaults, having reclaimed his land. Lord Sidrock sends you his regards and his gratitude. You're welcome. Find the Deer Wooden expedition by the Pilgrims' camp at the mercy of the tribes. Hunter brother. What? At the mercy of the tribes. What's that? A nest above the clouds. That's updated. Makes sense. What is... One of these I do not remember. Hunter brother. Oh, that's a Fion Frey. Okay, cool. His better half, true to form. None of these. Bounty, the blade, the endless paths. Interesting. All right. Well. Oh yeah, this is a big area. Damn. Okay, I didn't realize that. Well,
Certainly.
that.
Sharp eyes and keen.
Why does it look like my formation's off? What's up with that? Who's in my formation? You should not be in my formation. Oh, that's right. I've lost my tank. That's why. The rest of this is fine. Okay. All right.
Ears.
There we go. All right. Save here. Dwarf Archer was so weird to me. I like her stories. It's interesting, but the mechanics, I don't like them as much as some of the other party members. Awesome. All right. It's been almost 3.5 hours. I think we made it through a nice chunk of the game. We are getting closer and closer towards the end, but that is enough for me. It's time for me to get some sleep so that I can be ready to work tomorrow. Is this the right one? There we go. So, hope you all enjoyed the stream. Had a good night. My plan is to be right back on tomorrow night so that we can continue. So, hopefully, as work allows, I'll be back on. But until then, I appreciate all of you all for joining the stream, and I will see you next time. Take care. Have a good one, Dagon. Take care. Take care, Damas. Night, Argo. Thanks for making